Should be an exciting one today.
It really will, Justin. You know, these are definitely the two premier teams that bowl out of Howell Lanes in this conference. And from what I've seen, looking around a couple of the facilities I've been to throughout the state, these two teams could literally be in that top five very easily.
Yeah, these two teams on both the boys and the girls side have opportunities for state title. I believe Jackson Memorial was ranked #1 at some point during this season. So that should be pretty exciting to watch them. These two teams have been powerhouse teams the last couple of years. Some of them have really built up their rosters and have put together some pretty good teams. These two matches, especially the guys' side, should be pretty high scoring.
Yeah, I would expect so. You know, when you look at a team, a lot of the teams have 3 or 4 players, and then the 5th one is you start flipping a coin one way or the other. But both of these teams are pretty deep. There's 6 or 7, maybe even 8 players deep that they have substantial resumes behind them that they can really help a team when need be.
Yeah, there are guys that have local JVT and PJVT titles, state champions, national champions at the Youth Open Championships as well. So, I mean, this is you're looking at some pretty talented players here. Guys that have made the state finals before individually. These teams have both won the state title recently. Sectional champions, you name it, it's there. Daniel Robertson was a short conference champion the last time they had it, so technically the defending short conference champion. Andrew Klein, another star player on Jackson Memorial's team. Chris Steppett is fairly new to the game, and he's definitely improved over the last couple of years. I got to watch him bowl over the last couple of years, and it's been pretty cool to watch him improve. Danny Elias has also been another star player on their team. He's been pretty beneficial for the Jackson Memorial boys. On Howell's side, Jake Diaz is up now on the approach. Guys like Nick Kortenhouse, Anthony Morell, Jake Diaz, Henry Hecht. I mean, those are 4 pretty big names in the area outside of high school bowling, and to put 4 guys like that on the same team is that's going to put a hurting on any 5 guys in this area. So it's going to be pretty exciting to watch them, and it's definitely going to be exciting, high scoring, you name it. It's going to be there in this match today.
Well, and probably the biggest thing is when I look around here, both of these teams, you have a wide variety of bowlers that are not afraid to come in here and work at their game. So through the years, by watching them, I come into the bowling center myself and walk through, and you can see 1, 2, or sometimes a handful of them out here practicing, trying to make their game as good as it could possibly be. So, you know, I got to tip my hat to them for working at their game, not only on their own time, but obviously in their team time as well.
Yeah, we're talking about guys that compete year-round, not just during the high school season, that work at their game, that compete at levels that most high school athletes don't even get to. I mean, we're talking about guys that compete at the national level every single year that are bowling in this match right in front of us. So,
yeah, it's important you say at the national level, because Junior Gold is by far the biggest event that goes on the year for juniors throughout the country. And when I look out here in the field right now, I mean, we've got 20 players, boys and girls, that are competing. And out of those 20 players, I'm going to say that there's a good opportunity that 8 or 10 of them actually go out and participate in Junior Gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Daniel Robertson there, just talking about him. Shore Conference champion in 2019, or 2020, excuse me. And he's been a big part of that team, and he's been a pretty substantial name in the not only Ocean County region, but even at the state level. He's been a force to be reckoned with in outside events, let alone high school bowling. So,
yeah, I believe he's only a junior this year.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun to watch him in this match, and let alone the rest of his year when they've got outside tournaments, because last year they didn't have any outside events besides the 10 matches that they bowled throughout the season. So for them to have a full season this year and they get to watch teams like this compete outside of this match here, it's going to be pretty exciting to watch 2 teams at this level go at it.
Yeah, it really is, especially when you're talking about the level that they're both playing at. You know, both of these teams, they know how to get up there and get the job done, but what their performances out on the lanes, when you watch them, it's not just one player filling a frame. A lot of times you're going to see that 4 out of the 5 are going to fill the frame, And it's not out of the question to see all 5 of them at some point strike in a given frame.
Oh yeah, these guys are all capable of throwing multiple strikes in a row, putting big strings together on the board. And it's going to get loud too. These guys know how to rally each other up and make this place loud. I've watched it firsthand.
Yeah, well, they also know the importance of this match because both of these teams being the 2 star standouts here, they know the significance behind this. They want to make sure that they can walk away victorious today, and walking away victorious today is certainly going to help them to try to win their conference as the season winds down later on next month.
Yeah, these are definitely the 2 teams that are going to be battling for the division title here at Howell Lanes. And this match, anytime you get the 2 teams at the top that get to bowl against each other, it's always an important match. Because if you get to take away 3 points from one team or another, it's pretty hurtful on the standings. So
Yeah.
if one of these 2 teams can walk out of here sweeping 3-0, they're going to be a big favorite.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Especially if they win 3-0, because when they look around, how many other teams have a possibility of even winning a game, let alone 2 or even 3 against them?
Yeah, so one of these teams sweeping the other team is going to put a real hurting on the other team's chances of having a chance at the division title. So this is a pretty big match. It's always been a pretty big match, and throughout the rest of the season, matches like this are going to be hard to come by. So this is a big opportunity for both teams to really give themselves a good chance and put themselves in the front running for the division title.
Yes, absolutely. And we hope that everybody back at home enjoys today's episode of watching the live bowling here between Jackson Memorial High School and Howell High School. Both the boys and the girls varsity teams, they will be bowling on pairs next to each other. JV teams and possible substitutes are bowling on the pairs just outside of the 4 that we are watching here right now. The boys are going to be bowling on 27 and 8, and the girls will be participating in bowling as well on 29 and 30.
Yeah, coaches can make substitutes at any time to either lineup, boys or girls, varsity or JV. They can swap players in and out. So if they've got some other players that aren't performing as well as they need to be, and they've got players on JV that they can swap in and out, they are more than welcome to do so. They can make that switch if need be. And sometimes that can be pretty helpful to some of these teams. If they've got a 6th player that really knows how to bowl as well, especially like left-handers when the right side gets super burned. I've witnessed it when the right side starts to hook quite a bit and the left starts to prevail. There can be a left-hander or 2 that they've got on the sidelines that can be able to put up some more score than some of the right-handers.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that plays out for sure. You know how that all works, Justin. You played in the high school bowling team there for 4 years. Now you've gone on to bigger and better things, Wichita State.
Yes.
So things are about to get underway here as practice is completed right now, and once they hold everybody up, we will get things started in the first frame here momentarily.
Yes, teams will bowl 3 team games. So 5 guys, 5 girls will bowl 1 game, and the total pin fall, so all 5 scores added up, will win that game. They're bowling 3 games, 1 point for each game, no points for all 3 games added up. So basically a team can go 3-0, 2-1, 1-2, or get swept and go 0-3.
Well, and we do have the outside chance of a tie.
Correct.
So it is possible they could split, but we'll say that that's a rarity.
Yeah, in a case like that, they would get half a point each, and it would just be added up in the end on the total standings and the final standings at the end of the season.
Correct. Correct. Well, they have things getting underway. We hear the chanting going on for Jackson Memorial as they are about ready to get their players out on the lanes and knock some pins over.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely a beautiful day inside, super cold outside, and I'm glad we're going to be inside here today.
This is one of those days I am sincerely glad I have an indoor sport under my feet.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Because although the temperature is frigid outside, we are at definite room temperature here inside, and things are about to heat up as we get things underway here. You know, when we speak about that, Justin, as we watch our first player get up there, Jimmy gets up on lane 28, unfortunately leaving it 2-8-10. But speaking of that, you know, for those folks at home that need to understand a little bit more about bowling, as cold as it is outside, that actually makes the lane surface a little bit harder. When the lane surface becomes a little bit harder, that means less friction for your bowling ball on the lane. Therefore, your ball will hook less. Now, the average bowler may not understand that, but I'm going to tell you right now that some of these players you're going to watch out here today, they're going to realize that their ball is going a little bit straighter, and they're going to move accordingly and get that ball to the 1-2 or 1-3 pocket.
Yeah, so as we're watching the boys start up game number 1 here, I do want to talk about the standings overall. This is week 11 of 15. So they will have 5 matches left, an opportunity for 15 points left. Jackson Memorial is currently in the lead at 25 points, or 25 wins, out of 30, I believe. Could be correct.
Great shot there, right there.
Excuse me, this is week 12.
Week 12.
Week 12. So Jackson Memorial is 25 wins, 8 losses. Howell is 20-13. So neither one of these teams can switch the order first and second, but Howell can get close with a 3-0 sweep, and they're definitely going to need that, as they've only got 4 matches left, including today. So Jackson Memorial can pretty much lock up the division championship on the guys' side if they are able to win 2 games today, I think, because I don't think there's another team here that can sweep them 0-3 to give Howell a chance to get back.
No, there may not be, but I'll tell you what, I don't think Howell's going to go down very easily.
No. This is the last time they'll bowl each other this season. They've already bowled each other twice. So with that being said, Howell, without a 3-0 sweep or a 2-1 sweep, it's going to be pretty hard to get back.
Yeah, but the old saying, you definitely want to bowl the team that's close to you. Because if you can put them down or you have your opportunity to beat them a couple of games, then you bring new life to your team.
Yeah. And Howell winning this first game can be definitely big for momentum. High school bowling, or in high school bowling, momentum is a huge thing, especially on the guys' side. The guys like to get loud. They like to make it interesting, like to make it exciting. And whatever team can get more momentum started going quick, it's going to be super beneficial for that team. And Howell's going to need a lot of it today as they're trying to make a run late in the season.
Right, as we watch Andrew Klein go a little bit high there on lane 27. He's the 4th bowler for Jackson Memorial. Looks like lanes may still be changing a little bit. Don't see too many strikes up there on the board as we get things underway in the first frame, but there could also be a little bit of the nervousness coming behind it.
Yeah.
You know, the anticipation of getting out there, wanting to make sure that you start out strong, and sometimes you don't just take that extra step back and make a good quality shot. You just get up there and grip it and rip it.
Right. So as we look at Daniel Robertson, 2020 Shore Conference individual champion, up on lane 27 right now. Gets the light mixer to fall. As Jackson Memorial, pretty good start. Only 1 open on the board in frame number 1. As Henry Heck gets up on lane 28 shooting the 2-pin. Got real fortunate to get the 10 out. Got it out super late there. And that's 9 spot on the board to start for him. Howell's got 2 opens on the board early as anchor bowler Jake Diaz gets up on lane 28 to wrap up frame number 1 on the guy's side.
Jake Diaz being the anchor bowler for Howell High School. Throws it out there, and that pretty much tells me why he's down on the bottom right now.
That's right. Two-handed player, going to have lots of power going through the pins. And anytime that you can have someone with lots of power going through the pins, they're going to throw a lot of strikes, and that's exactly what you want in the 5-hole.
Especially once they get lined up,
exactly.
By all means.
Look at Jimmy Byer here. Great shot there,
Jimmy
splitting the 8-9, all 10 back.
Jimmy Byer has a 184 average this season so far. He's got a high game of 255 with a high series of 622. So he gets lined up. He can certainly get his ball to get through the pins in a positive way.
Especially that being the low average on Howell's starting lineup. That's pretty impressive when you have 5 guys over 184 and a 5-guy high school team. It's pretty impressive.
Exactly. So watch Daniel Elias shoot that 10-pin. Unfortunately missing that one there, but Daniel will be back up here.
Nick Kortenhouse with the fortunate break there going Brooklyn. Getting all of them to fall.
Yeah, not exactly.
Open frame in the first.
Correct. Not exactly his best shot, but by all means, he's not going to throw that strike away.
No, and the rules say you got to take them.
That's for sure.
As Matt Harney gets up, missing the head pin left, leaving the 1-2-8.
Yeah, Matt is the number 2 bowler for Jackson today. Right now, Matt Harney has a 180 average with a high game of 264 and a high series of 621.
Anthony Morell gets up in the second, striking after a spare in the first. He's been another big player here. Last year in league outside of high school competition, he did bowl an 800 series, which is an honor score in any 3-game league competition. So he can definitely put up some numbers here. Anthony's
by all means.
200 average with a high game of 300, and like we've mentioned, that 800 series, 806.
806.
Yep. So he knows how to get it done. That's a real bad break there from Henry Hecht going high, just a little bit high, leaving the 4-9. One of the not so good breaks in bowling. When you throw it pretty good and your ball goes just a little bit high, it could be a 4-pin, could be a 9-pin, and it sucks leaving both because it's not a very makeable spare, not a very friendly spare to shoot at.
And you know, even then, 4-9, you could get fortunate to trip the 4 into the 9 or something, mix them both up, and that could be a strike as easy as he's got an 8 split looking on the board right now. What a great shot right there. Henry Hecht, the number 4 bowler right there for Howell. He posted 212 average. He also has a high game of 300 with an incredible 811 high series. So you let him get hot, you let him get on fire, some things are going to happen.
Yeah, that 4-9, not a very easy spare to shoot at, and it was a no-doubter right off his hand, making the 4-9 split. Look back up at Jake Diaz, looking for a double here early in the match. Gets them all to fall going high flush.
Pretty convincing.
That's right. Look at Andrew Klein here from Jackson Memorial. He gets all of them to fall as well after a 8 spare in the first frame. Now Daniel Robertson, anchor bowler, looking to match Jake Diaz's double. After a strike in the first, looking to help his team out with a double here on the board.
Exactly.
Score adds up a lot quicker when you can throw a couple strikes in a row. Especially in a match like this, there's going to need to be 1 or 2 guys that can throw a couple in a row.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to get hot for sure.
That was a pretty good one as they are swapping lanes. We're going to go take a look at the girls, the Howell girls and Jackson Memorial girls, and we will be back shortly with action from the boys. Now, as we mentioned the guys' standings earlier, we're going to get a chance to talk about the girls' standings. Memorial girls in the lead, 26-7. Howell girls in second, 22-11. And Colts Neck is actually right behind Howell girls at 20-13. So Howell 4 points behind him with a 3-0 sweep today can get just 1, and with 3 matches left, we all know that can be very exciting finish to the season.
That will come right down to the end.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. As anchor bowler Madison Mosley gets the light mixer there. Strike in the second for her. She's been a pretty star player on the Howell girls team. She's the anchor bowler, averaging 198 with a high game of 279 and a high series of 756. She's been a pretty big name in the New Jersey area, making some noise as well individually outside of high school bowling, let alone in the Shore Conference competition here at Howell Lanes.
Meanwhile, we have Gianna Massey up here on the right lane right now. Gianna's the number 4 bowler for Jackson Memorial. She has a 193 average with a high game of 294. A little bit of a different game, but a high game of 294 and a high series of 726. I've got a good feeling she'd really like to have that last shot back in that 294 game.
Yeah, I do have a feeling about that one. Anytime you've got the front 11 and you get less than half, it
got a chance.
Very good.
Oh, that was almost right there.
It was a good run there at the 2-4-10, not a very easy spare. And she's left with an open on the board in the second frame. As the Memorial girls have the last 3 opens in frame number 2, Emily Fogarty, the anchor bowler for Jackson Memorial, looking to step up. After a 9 spare in the first, looking to get a strike on the board and swing some momentum here for their team.
For sure. Emily strikes on the board. Emily, she has a 206 average. That could be the high girls average here in this conference. We're not 100% sure. We'll have to look into that. But she posts a high game of 289 and a high series of 779. Outstanding bowling for Emily, for sure. She knows how to get up there and get the job done.
Yeah, and as I've got the stats, if you guys want to look at the stats, you guys can go to shoreconferenceweebly.com. That's where you can find all of these Shore Conference stats from all the divisions, let alone the one here at Howell Lanes. Emily Fogarty is the high girls here in this division at 206, and anchor bowler Madison Mosley for Howell is second at 198. Gianna Massey is third, 4 bowler for Jackson Memorial at 193. So we've got the top 3 girls in this division right in front of us.
That's pretty outstanding. And they know what's on the line today. They want to bring everything that they've got to the table, put it up on the scoreboard to help generate their team to the winning side of things after each and every game.
Yeah, Howell's definitely the one that is looking to make a comeback here, as they're the teams that are down in the standings right now. They can get within, the girls can get within 1 point of the lead going into the last 3 matches. And if Memorial takes one of those games, they're going to put themselves in a pretty good position with only 3 games left.
Kaylee's up here on the right lane, shooting that spare. Very good conversion there. Kaylee making that spare. She's the number 2 bowler for the Howell girls. So she has a 122 average, a high game of 177 with a high series of 451. So really good spare for her.
Good spare there from second bowler for Jackson Memorial, Antonia, with an average of 98 and a high game of 140. As the Jackson Memorial girls currently have the lead. They are up about 30 so far, 3.5 frames into game number 1. As Amanda is missing the head pin left, leaving the 1-2-8-10.
She'll try to get up there and hit that one in the front. Best way to go about any spares that you leave for the most part is make sure that your ball hits the one in the front, left or right, depending what it is that you've got at the other end, and let the ball do the work, or try to get the pin placed strategically into the other pin or pins that are still standing so that you can knock them all over.
Just like how you talked about it, hitting the one in the front, 2-4-5 going down for third bowler on Howell's team, Alyssa.
As Bethany Harvath got up there on that right lane. Bethany has a high average of 142 bowling for Howell with a high game of 190 and high series of 525.
So we watched Gianna Massey get the light mixer there on lane 29 after the open frame in the second. As Beth makes the spare there in the third, first mark of the game for her.
First mark in the game, but I'll tell you what, she's really helping the team out a lot. They've got 4 consecutive marks right now. So
yeah, Howell making a comeback here in frame number 3.
Howell's making a little move.
As they are just down 5 right now. With the anchor bowler up. And Emily leaves the flat 10 there. in the third frame, looking for a double there, but couldn't get the 10 out there late.
See what Madison does here, working on a strike. Wow. What a great shot that was.
As we are going to get a replay look at Madison Mosley.
Look at that shot.
Double there.
Ball goes through the pins perfectly.
That's a double for her, and like we talked about earlier, throwing a couple strikes in a row is going to add up the score a lot quicker.
Oh my goodness.
And especially in a girls match, they've got 2 doubles on the board, Howell does.
2 doubles and a couple other spares, so they've got 7 marks, which ultimately when you know, spare or strike for everybody at home counts as a mark, and if you get 2 strikes in a row, that gives you 2 marks. So in essence, Howell has 7 marks on the board right now, where Jackson has 3 marks, so it's a 40-pin swing in just 1 frame.
Yeah, and the Howell girls take the lead as Reagan Smith, leadoff bowler, triple on the board. Reagan is currently averaging 189 with a high game of 278 and a high series of 740. She's another big name in the state of New Jersey, competing in events outside of high school bowling, JBTs, PJBTs, you name it, she's done it. She's been a big name on the girls' side to compete with in this state, and she could definitely make a run at qualifying for the state finals individually.
I do believe that, by all means. She's one of those young ladies that's not afraid to put a lot of hard work into her game to try to get better and propel herself, to give herself more of a chance, not just in high school bowling, but other tournaments and activities in bowling outside of the high school repertoire.
As we just watched Antonia strike, second strike in the 4th frame for the Jackson Memorial girls.
They got the ultimate star frame going right now.
Yep. So as we talked about on the guys' side, a couple of strikes is going to be the big key. For the girls, it's going to be filling frames. You know, some of these girls haven't been bowling very long. They're just the everyday high school bowler. And we've got some of them that compete year-round in other state and local events, even at the national level. I know 4 of the girls on this pair, 2 girls from Memorial and 2 girls from Howell, have competed at the national level at junior gold, like we talked about earlier. But the rest of them are pretty much high school bowlers, the ones that don't average a whole lot, and filling frames are going to be the big keys for them. So filling frames on the girls' side is definitely going to be the keys to either team to winning this match.
Yeah, and one is going to slip away from time to time. You know, as we get up there, we're watching Amanda let one slip by her there, but she'll be back on it come next frame for sure.
We're watching Alyssa Riccio, 3rd bowler for Howell with an average of 106, high game of 189, and a high series of 423.
Yeah.
Gianna Massey going high there, leaving the 610. And like we talked about on the guys' side, a couple strikes in a row could be a match swinger, as Reagan's got a triple on the board and Madison Mosley, the anchor bowler, has a double.
Yeah, but still, those frame fillers, every mark they get certainly goes a long, long way.
Yes, those extra strikes are just bonus points at that point.
As Gianna gets up there to shoot the spare, very nice conversion she has there on the 610. So we watch Alyssa getting up here to shoot this spare right now. 7-pin over in the left-hand side of your screen as the ball right on top of it. Didn't have to sweat that one out.
Nope, not at all. So we're watching anchor bowler from Memorial, Emily Fogarty, get up in the 4th. Splits the 8-9 there, gets all 10 to fall.
What a great shot by Emily.
We got a replay of Emily's shot there.
Look at this. They don't get much better than that.
No, that's all 10 straight back. It's what we like to call in bowling 10 in the pit.
Fantastic shot. As she was matched right there by Bethany. And now Madison Mosley getting up as the anchor bowler for Howell. Finishing out the 4th frame here.
Madison working on a double, looking to get a triple on the board and really step on Memorial 4 frames in.
Wow, what a great shot, ringing 10. Unfortunately. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Madison has shot many of 10 pins in her lifetime, with many more to go. So, confidence-wise, I'm going to go under the assumption that vast majority she's going to get this.
She's got the high average on the team, averaging 198. Anytime you get close to that 200 average, you're going to be a pretty good spare shooter. And this is a routine spare for any bowler out there. Makes a spare no problem.
Makes it pretty easily.
Yep, Howell going to have the lead as we're going to take a look back over at the boys. And we've got a couple strikes in a row here like we talked about earlier. Both anchor bowlers with the front 5.
Yeah, they're posting some good scores there on the bottom, by all means.
As Anthony Morrell stepping up on lane 27 for Howell, working on a 4-timer after a 9 spare in the first frame, looking for a 5-bagger. And Howell with a dominant start as they're up quite a bit.
Yeah, they're up quite a bit right now, but you know, they want to keep that momentum going. They want to make sure that they tell Jackson, we're here and we're looking to bring out the broom today.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, throwing some strikes and getting the momentum early is going to be key. Nick Kortenhouse with a 5-bagger after an open in the first. Anthony Morrell with a 5-bagger after a spare in the first. Henry Hecht made the 4-9 in the second frame, working on a double as he's going to step up here in the 6th. And Jake Diaz with the front 5. I'm going to say that's a lot of strikes early to start.
It sure is. Andrew Klein right up there right now. Unfortunately going a little bit light, leaving it 2-8-10. He was working on a double there. Andrew has his high average right now is 213. He has a high game. He has 3 perfect games, 3 300s with a high series of 756. Andrew's dad owns the luxurious DKJ Pro Shop located at Hamilton Lanes. He also has a sister pro shop on the other side of the river there in Mooresville. So for all of your bowling services, if you go see Andrew's dad, Dave Klein, or one of his staff members there, they will certainly fit a ball to your hand and get you well underway out on the lanes. Henry Hecht going high again, leaving the 4-6-10. Open frame there for Howell.
We watch Danny Robertson working on the front 5, looking to start game number 1 with the front 6. Gets it way right, gets it to lay off, and that's perfect halfway through game number 1.
Look at this shot once again. Watch this ball go through the pins. You want to see some power? But not to be outdone, Jake Diaz says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to put mine up there too.
That's exactly right.
A couple of two-handers battling it out as the anchor bowler for both teams.
Howell currently with a 85-pin lead after 6 frames. And they've got that's a pretty substantial lead anytime that you put it together, as Danny Elias gets the 10 to fall real late. Big shot there from him. That's a double on the board. Jackson Memorial is going to need to put a couple of strikes up here on the board if they want to get back in this match.
Well, the funniest thing, Justin, as we're watching these two lanes here, I've seen the 2-8-10, or now we're looking at the 2-4-8-10 combination on lane 28 quite a few times here in this match so far. And the misses on the left lane appear to be the other way. They're going high. So it's the way I'm going to look at it, the challenging lane appears to be the right lane, as that lane seems to be hanging before it gets up to the pocket. The other lane, I just don't believe that the bowlers have moved in deep enough yet. So we're going to have to see how that unfolds, or continues to unfold, right here in this match.
Yeah, as lanes start to transition and they start to hook a little bit and they start to get tight down lane, that's when they can get really hard, because controlling the lane front to back can be very difficult. As we look at the scoreboard here, Nick Kortenhouse just struck in the 7th for a 6-timer. Nick Kortenhouse with an average of 196, high game at 267. Possible chance to break it here with a high series of 740.
Yeah, Nick with a 6-bagger up there, I'll tell you what, he's well on his way right now.
It's Anthony Morrell stepping up on 28, working on 5 in a row, looking to make it 6. That's splitting the 8-9, and Howell's not looking down at all.
No, Howell's putting the pedal to the metal. Once again,
goes high there, leaving the 6-10. Chris Steppett with an average currently of 197, high game of 278, and a high series of 768. Henry Hecht up on 28, going light, leaving the 2-8, and we talked about that lane being the tighter lane, seems like. as that lane starts to get even tighter down lane as the match goes on and the front start to hook, they could be a term we like to call squirrely.
Yes, yeah, that lane's going to be challenging for sure. You know, we've watched the bowlers go high on the left lane, but when bowlers start hanging out there and the ball won't hook up enough to the pocket, therefore it starts to make it a little bit tricky and a little bit difficult. Looking for that right break point, because as that ball continues to hang, 210 combinations, unfortunately, are going to continue to happen until something elusive happens on that lane. Once again, we watch the ball drift through the nose again on lane 27. So the two lanes definitely are playing differently.
Yeah, oil is placed on the lane. It's a physical substance. So anytime the ball is rolled down the lane changes, the atmosphere changes every time a ball is thrown down the lane. And these two lanes are changing differently, as the left lane has more friction and the right lane is a little bit tighter, which means there's more oil still on that lane. As Jake Diaz getting up on lane 28, the tighter lane, working on the front 6. Both anchor bowlers still perfect halfway through game number 1. Looking for the front 7. Great shot there, splitting the 8-9. There was no doubt.
No, there certainly wasn't. Watch this ball again, right through the heart of the pocket, drilling both the 8-9, splitting them.
Danny Robertson working on the front 6 as well. Gets his ball,
my God.
Just a touch high. Terrible break leaving the solid 9.
That it was. Bad break there, but here we go once again. What's the ball do on the left lane? Drifts a little bit on the higher side, leaving a solid 9.
Yeah, that one looked way further left down lane than the shot before in the 6 on the right lane.
He may be trying to play it that way because he knows he's got to keep it in the hold, because if he gets it out there, the ball may jump too much.
Yeah, the friction at Howell lanes to the right can definitely be pretty uncontrollable. So playing more of the hold than not can be very beneficial. So we are going to look back over at the girls. The guys match is going to be looking like it's going to be going to Howell here. We'll get a look back up in the 10th frame, and we'll keep you updated on Jake Diaz's run at perfection as he has the front 7 currently.
Alyssa right now on lane 29 goes Brooklyn on the other side of the pocket. She actually hits the left side of the head pin, leaving the 10 pin. And we have Amanda D'Ambrosia here on lane 30. Amanda, she has a 144 average with a high game of 209 and a high series of 500. So she certainly helps her team propel themselves to the winner's circle from time to time. Alyssa getting a little bit wide as she shoots that 10 pin, the ball slipping into the gutter there. We watch Amanda shooting the 6-9. Oh, just a little bit too much hook on the back end. Hooking in front of the 6, getting the 9. Unfortunately, leaving an open frame. Bethany Harvath hitting the pocket, leaving the 5-10. Even though it's a split, it is a makeable spare. So hopefully she can make a move and hit the left side of that 5 pin.
Gianna yet to strike so far on this right lane, looking for the first. It goes just a touch high, leaving the 4 pin. Yet to strike on the right lane, could be bringing some trouble for her as she split in the 2nd, leaving that 2-4-10 earlier like we talked about.
Correct, but this girl's match is pretty close. I mean,
yes.
As a matter of fact, when you look at the scoreboard there, it does say 0, meaning the match is dead tied right now. But when you look at the mark, we have a double on the bottom there for the anchor bowler, Emily Fogarty. And we have 1 strike on the board for Kaylee in the 6th frame here. So realistically, this is only a 10, maybe a 20-pin match.
Yeah, and we know anytime they get that close in high school bowling, it's very close and it's anyone's match. So at this point in time, this match is anyone's match as Emily Fogarty is stepping up in the 6 on a double, looking for a triple and really looking to get the lead back from Memorial.
Shots like that'll do it.
That's exactly right.
That's a fantastic shot. Watch this ball go right through the pocket perfectly. All 10 pins back in the pit. As we watch Madison Mosley get up to shoot a 4-pin here right now. Makes the spare. Helping Howell. As the teams will switch lanes, and now they go to the other lane. Right now, Reagan Smith is getting up on the right lane.
So far, 6 frames into this match, Memorial is up 31 pins with 4 frames left. As we look at leadoff bowler for Jackson Memorial, Gianna D'Ambrosio with an average of 168, high game of 246, and a high series of 635. Gets a strike there in the 7th.
Really good shot in there in the 7th frame for her.
Reagan just misses the 3-pin.
Just a little bit to the left of that 3-pin.
And that's 3 missed makeables in a row for her. That's not what she wanted after she had the triple in the 2nd, 3rd,
Correct.
and 4th.
That's really uncharacteristic for her.
Yeah.
Because she's a better spare shooter than that. As we watch Kaylee getting up here on the right-hand lane. Kaylee working on a strike right now. Has an opportunity to post another strike and get a double on the board and really help her team.
And that's in the gutter.
Well, maybe she thought the gutter was a little dirty on that shot.
Yeah, a little help cleaning it, that's all.
That's okay.
Update on the guy's side, Jake Diaz struck in the 8th. He is perfect through 8 frames.
Very good spare there for Antonio.
Get a replay on
Look
that
at
spare.
this.
Textbook spare on the 1-3.
Very well done.
It's a good rebound, and she had 2 opens in the 2 prior
As Amanda,
frames.
that looks pretty close. Mixing around. Oh,
That's one of the worst breaks in bowling. When you hit in the pocket, really good shot. Both of them could have been a strike, and it's going to turn into one of the hardest spares in bowling. As we've got a gutter spare there, makes the spare.
I'll tell you what, that's the shot she was looking for last time.
Yeah, no count loss, though. She was on a strike.
Exactly.
So basically 9 spare.
When you look at that, folks, when you're on a strike, your next 2 balls are really what matter most. So even though that she threw the first one in the gutter on a strike, then she come back and she made the spare. That gutter spare literally looks like a 9 spare.
That's right.
So she filled the frame, and that's exactly what she needed to do.
Alyssa gets up, missed the head pin, leaving the 1-2-9.
Very much a makeable spare.
Howell needs to put a couple marks on the board, get 2 of their star players to maybe throw a double or triple, and really help them to get back in this match as they're down. They were down 30 coming into this frame. So
yeah, they got to start putting a little bit of something together here. We're in the middle of the 7th frame right now. It looks like they're down about 30 pins. So you don't want to let things keep slipping away.
No, you can't. And filling frames is going to keep this match close for the Howell girls.
Exactly. Got to roll up a little bit more.
Just missing the 2-pin.
Yeah, a little bit too light on that head pin there. Head pin goes right in front of the 2-pin.
Beth Horvath stepping up on 30. Real good shot. Doesn't get the 7 out. Should be a makeable spare for her. Really great shot hitting the 1-2 pocket for the left-hander. We've got a small breakdown on 29. That's why you haven't seen any girls from Memorial step up here on the left lane. Amanda waiting to shoot the 7-10.
Yeah.
As Beth gets up shooting the 7-pin.
Hold on. Oh.
Just goes in the gutter at about 55 feet.
Exactly. That was a pretty good effort. You know, at least she gave it a chance.
That's right.
By throwing the ball that far out there, she gave it an opportunity to hit the pin. And although it slipped into the gutter, if you don't get it out there far enough, you have no chance of hitting the spare left at the other end.
That's right.
As we're looking up at the scoreboard there right now,
You can see Howell girls have 3 open frames in the 7th. And like we talked about, them needing to fill some frames to get back in the match. The opens are not going to help their score at all.
Yeah, they need to get back on it. As we watch Madison Mosley get up here right now, mixes them around pretty good, puts a strike on the board, gives her team a chance.
And Jake Diaz strikes in the 9th, perfect through the first 9 frames. We're going to look at him when he gets up on the 10th frame, as we are going to look back over at the boys as there's a current breakdown on the girls' side.
And if we look up at the scoreboard there, from our standpoint, you look at the strikes that are on the board there right now. Wow.
We talked about Jake Diaz with the front 9, but no shame to Nick Kortenhouse, who can strike out in the 10th frame for 258. Anthony Morrell can strike out in the 10th frame for 269. Daniel Robertson, who was perfect through 6, can strike out in the 10th for 279. So lots of score on the board from more than one player here. As we talked about, there needing to be quite a bit of score from one team or the other. These teams very capable of throwing strikes. And Howell, they definitely did that in game number 1, as they've got 3 players with a chance to bowl 250 or more.
Right, and Jimmy Byer right now stepping up on this left lane. He has a triple working. Can strike out in the 10th for 190.
Great shot there from him, smacking the 10, silly.
Watch this as the ball goes down the lane, as 6-pin gets to the right and snaps that 10 right out of there. That's when you know your ball is certainly working for you in a positive way.
That's right. So Howell boys are going to win game number 1, as they're up, well, almost 200 pins going into the 10th frame. Howell is going to, they needed to win all 3 today to give themselves an opportunity to win the division title, and that's exactly what they're doing in game number 1. And they're stepping on Memorial's throat right now, and this game 1 is not even close.
Yeah, but we all know it's one game now, and the next game will start momentarily. But first, we got to finish this game as we watch Jimmy get up there and throw one more shot. Go a little bit light, leaving the 2-8 for 188, his final score. And meanwhile, for Jackson, Daniel Elias can strike here on the fill ball for 216, leaving a 10-pin for a final score of 215. Pretty good, solid game for Daniel.
We talked about Nick Kortenhouse earlier with a chance at a high game. High game is 267, can be just shy with all 3 in the 10th with a 258. Here's the first one in the 10th. It's way outside, and that goes high, leaving the 4-7-10. Not the shot he wanted.
Yeah, that one hooked a little bit too hard on the back end, leaving a big
regardless
split.
of the shot there, they're still going to win the game. So
yeah, he's not going to be too happy with the end result in that frame right there. But more importantly, he's going to step back and look at it. His team is going to win the game, and they need to take that confidence and move on to the next one. So we watch Matt Harney getting up here on the right lane to shoot a 10-pin right now. Just a little bit right. A little bit too far to the right. Missing that. Maybe he's saving it for next game. Nick giving it a good chance at the spare. Once again, getting it far enough left, but the ball slipping into the gutter. So Chris Steppett working on a strike right now, getting up in the 10th frame. Mixes them around and leaves an 8-pin. So we'll see what he does there.
Anthony Morrell stepping up on 27, who had a 7-bagger in the middle of the game. Gets the first one in the 10th. Second one is going to get him into the 260s.
Oh, and Chris just hooks by, barely hooks by that 8-pin. Missing in the 10th there. Unfortunately, not the result that he was looking for.
Anthony Morrell stepping up. Second shot in the 10th, working on a strike, looking to make it a double and looking to get in the 260s here.
Pretty solid shot there for Anthony.
Yep. Andrew Klein stepping up in the 10th. Gets the first one. That's a double for him.
Yeah, I think that's the shot he was looking for last time over there. So we watch Andrew Klein's shot here. Look at that. 6 pin goes around a 10, just hits it enough and knocks it over for the double. Fantastic shot. As we're going to watch Anthony Morel get up. If he strikes right here, he will bowl 269 this game. That's a really, really solid game. Ball looks like it's out. It's wide, leaving the 7-10 for a 267.
Either way, any way you look at it, that's a pretty good start as Andrew Klein gets the second one of the 10th. Saving his game a little bit. We're going to look at a replay at Andrew's second shot.
Slaps him around.
Hit him thin and watch him spin, as they like to say on tour.
And Andrew Klein will finish out his 10th frame here. Possible 212 if he strikes here on the fill ball. And goes light, leaves the 4 pin for a 211 score. Henry Heck is up here right now on the left lane. Going a little bit high, tripping the 4 pin out late for a double. And Daniel Robertson getting up here right now on the right lane. Daniel's having an unbelievable season. First 5 weeks he was averaging right at 260. And shots like that is what creates that. Watch this ball come out of nowhere, hooks right back and really mixes them around. He's currently the high average here in this conference. He has 236 average. He has a pair of 300 games to his credit with a high series of 816. So Daniel Robertson is certainly not afraid to strike when he gets lined up. Like we said earlier, Howell convincingly is going to win this game as we watch Daniel Robertson throw another great strike there on lane 28. But Henry Heck is going to get up and throw his last shot here. If he strikes on the fill ball, he will have 211. Throws it out there and lets it come back pretty good. Well, he's set the stage.
That's right. Set the stage pretty well as Daniel Robertson is going to finish off 279 here with a strike on the fill. He gets all 10 to fall. So we're going to get another replay at his final shot in the 10th frame. 279 for Daniel Robertson, and with a chance to not be high game on the pair. Jake Diaz stepping up on 27, working on the front 9.
Looking for perfection, one at a time.
Goes high there, leaving the 3, 6, 7, 10. Still going to be a good game. Howell is going to win the game shooting more than 1150. That's a 230 team average as Howell barely as Memorial barely breaks 200 average for their 5 guys.
That's a pretty solid game right there for Howell. They're making a statement.
They're making a statement here in game number 1. Jake Diaz with the front 9 going to get 1. Still a great game, going to bowl 260 on the dot. And game number 1 is going to go to Howell. And like we talked about, Howell going to need to win all 3 to give themselves an opportunity to win the division. That's exactly what they did there with a great start.
No doubt. As we're back on the girls right now, Howell making a statement right now, really coming back strong in the 8th frame there, posting 5 marks on the board. Trying to get themselves back into this game, even though they're down approximately 50 pins. We'll see how things unfold.
Reagan misses another single pin, and that's not very common for her to have 4 strikes and 5 opens on the board, 4 of them being makeable spares.
Yes, she's got to be talking herself out of it when it comes to shooting some of those spares right now. Because if she makes another really good pass at it, just like she did the first shot. Her first shot was right in the pocket there. The 8 pin, just like the 9 pin, they're close enough to the pocket zone that she should be able to move just a little bit and make another solid pass at it and easily make that spare.
As Kaylee misses the head pin going light there, leaving the 1-2-10. As Memorial with a pretty substantial lead, you can see on the bottom of the screen, 46 pin lead for Jackson Memorial. As Emily Fogarty bowling a pretty good game, bowling 229 currently, with strike spare in the 9th and 10th frame. And that's going to be a lot of scoring. We're talking about girls that are needing marks to keep it close.
Correct.
So Howell going to have to fill some frames with a possible double or triple in the 10th frame here from a couple girls if they want any opportunity to win this game. Jackson Memorial currently in the lead by 4 points. And if they win this first game, Howell can only get it to 3. And with just 3 matches left, 9 games left, nine opportunities for points. That's a lot when they're not bowling Jackson Memorial again this
season. Exactly. It's really imperative for them to try to bear down and fill some frames here and put something on the board to actually give themselves a chance.
So looking at Alyssa Riccio here.
Alyssa working on a strike right now could really help her team out a lot by getting a double.
So it looks pretty close. Goes high, just a touch high, leaving the 4 pin. Great shot there, making the spare. Going to set herself up for the 10th frame, and she's going to need that, not only for herself, but for her team as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all plays out. But fortunately, she's only got 1 standing at the other end, so she can make this spare and move right along.
Once again, lane 29 with a breakdown, so that's why you're not seeing the Jackson Memorial girls throw any shots currently. Focus on Alyssa shooting at the 4 pin on lane 30. Looking at the spare, it's going to be close.
Getting over,
and just misses it right. And that's not what Howell wanted to see, as that's their 3rd open in the 9th frame.
Just a little bit too far to the right that time. Did not hook quite enough. We watch Antonia shooting the 3-5-6 and filling the frame. So now we've got 2 spares on the board there for Jackson Memorial, as we have 9 and a wobble and pin for Beth.
Just looking at Amanda, 3rd bowler from Memorial here. Great shot, barely gets the 10 to fall, leaving the 10 pin in the 9th frame. Spare there, they're going to set up Memorial for a pretty good opportunity to win game number 1. As Beth gets up to shoot the 8 pin.
And she posts a spare on the board for her team.
First mark of the frame for Howell. And Madison, their anchor bowler, is going to need to get a strike here on the board in the 9th to really give themselves a chance. As that's what Howell was looking for. Amanda missing the single pin in the 9th. Fortunately for them, they've got 2 marks already in the 9th. Howell only with 1, 4 bowlers in.
Yeah, it's Howell. The thing that's hurting them the most is missing 1 too many spares. You know, although they may only be down by about 50 or 60 pins, they have probably got 7 or 8 single pin spare misses up there, and those single pin spares are certainly coming back to haunt them as this game unfolds.
Madison,
as we watch Madison Mosley.
Great shot there, smacking
great
the 10.
shot.
So we're going to get another look at that here.
Gianna Massey on the left lane there. Rips
the
the rack pretty
fall.
good. Watch this shot here on the left lane as that 5 goes into the 7 and the head pin comes rolling right back across the deck. So we watch the anchor bowler for Jackson Memorial, Emily Fogarty, rolling a really solid game right now. Every ball has been right there. And she continues to do it once again in the 9th frame. Posting a strike in the 9th, setting things up for herself as well as her team going into the 10th frame.
As
So
the Memorial girls with a 61 pin lead currently. Howell's gonna have to put a couple marks on the board. Memorial with a couple open frames for Howell to have any chance. As Gianna, leadoff bowler from Memorial, great shot there, splitting the 8-9. We're gonna get a replay
ball.
at that.
Right down there as the ball goes through the pocket, and the ball hits both the 8 and the 9. That's, once again, the perfectly rolled shot. And she gets her ball right down there.
Gianna's second shot in the 10th. Goes high there, leaving the 4, 6, 7, but fortunately for her, she got the first mark. She got the strike in the first. So that's going to be super beneficial as she's going to basically have a mark in the 10th, just lose 1 or 2 pins and count with the open in the second part of the 10th frame. Leadoff bowler Reagan Smith not bowling her best, bowling 148.
Yeah, 148 was a little bit off her average there. She's going to have to try to regroup and get things back underway if she's going to help out. And she wants to help herself as well as the team, that's for certain.
Looking up at Kaylee for Howell. Second bowler for Howell as she gets it right. Unfortunately, gets 0 as it goes in the right gutter.
Yeah, but she did that before. She threw it in the gutter and threw a great shot right after it to make the spare.
Looking at Antonia.
Tony gets 9. Gianna actually finished with 177 for Jackson Memorial there.
Like we talked about, filling frame's going to be the game changer in this match. We talked about Howell needing to fill a couple frames and while Memorial needing to open. And they did the exact opposite. Gianna filling her frame to start and Reagan with an open for Howell. So it's looking very so much like Memorial is going to win this first game and really separate themselves as they're going to take a 5-point lead over Howell
just
in the
a
division
little
standings. And that's going to be pretty hard to come back from. Howell's going to have to win the last 2 games to give themselves any chance at all to win the division title at the end of the season.
Well, they're going to have to really turn it up here.
Yeah, not only in this match, but in the next 3 matches, and hope that Memorial bowls a couple of teams that can beat them. So
Yeah, they're gonna need a little help from some other teams that Memorial's going to be facing as things would unfold down the road. We watch Alyssa Riccio here on lane 29, mixes them up, leaving just the 7-pin. And Amanda left the 4-7 on the first shot here in the 10th frame. Amanda D'Ambrosia, that's close. No, don't hook too much. Looked like she had it on line, but the ball hooked a little too much on the back end, hooking right past both pins. Final score for Amanda was 94. Alyssa getting up here, trying to make that 7-pin. Does the same thing where her ball just tails off, hooks a little too much there in the 10th, missing that spare for a final score of 114. Gianna Massey now on the right lane, working on a strike. She can actually strike out for 200 here. So let's see what her first ball in the 10th does for her. That looked like a great shot off her hand, Justin.
Yep. And we're going to get a replay of that as this match is all but over. Jackson Memorial girls going to win game number 1 on the boys' side. Howell wins game number 1. Howell looking to close in on Jackson Memorial's lead on the boys' side, and the Jackson Memorial girls are looking to extend it and really pull themselves away from Howell as they are looking to basically lock up the division title here.
Gianna Massey up here once again on this right lane. Mixes around a little bit. Oh. 7-pin just says, I don't want to fall right now. As Beth Horvath unfortunately misses that spare there in the 10th for a final score of 128.
Yeah, the Howell girls definitely underperformed this game. A couple players under average. And Jackson Memorial girls had a couple players over their average.
Yeah,
and,
Gianna can make the spare for 189 here right now.
Yep. Gianna just a little bit under her average, but still relatively close. That didn't matter. They had a couple other players perform when they needed to, and that's what we talk about a team. Biggest part about a team is when one player doesn't show up, the other four are there to help pick them up. So
exactly, as Madison Mosley makes a great shot there. First strike in the 10th. Watch this as ball gets right to the pocket and knocks them all over. Emily Fogarty up there throws another great shot for a strike. She really is not only the anchor bowler right now, but she has made this team what they have for this game. Let's face it, they're going to win by approximately 90 pins. And she can strike out with 2 more strikes here in the 10th. She can actually shoot 249.
Yeah, it's a big score. When the high game on the pair currently posted through the 8 bowlers that are done is 189. Madison Mosley with a chance to break that. Be second high on the pair.
Throws it out there once again, mixes around. Little shake and bake, leaves the 8 pin.
Never mind, doesn't get them all to fall. Emily Fogarty, great shot there. Second one in the 10th. Gonna be in the 240s.
Rips the rack. Watch this, right into the 1-3 as this ball goes through the pins, and the 5 goes over, does its business that it needs to do. And the 4 takes out the 7.
Madison Mosley shoots the 8 pin. Going to end up with 194. Howell girls are going to finish with a total score of 730 for their 5 girls added up. The Jackson Memorial girls with a strike here from Emily Fogarty are going to bowl 834. They're going to win by over 100 pins.
That's a pretty solid game right there. 249. Watch this final shot for Emily Fogarty. What a great one.
That's what we call 10 in the pit. Jackson Memorial girls winning game number 1, 834 to 730. And Jackson Memorial girls take a 5-point lead in the division standings, and they are really pulling themselves away. I think with one more game, it's going to be pretty safe to say that the Jackson Memorial girls are going to be the division champions here at Howell Lanes.
It's certainly looking that way as we turn things over to the boys' side right now. Anthony Morrell leaving a 7 pin up there on the left lane. And Daniel Robertson making his 3rd consecutive spare on the right lane. So spares will win games. They will certainly hang your team in there, but strikes will go a long, long way as we watch Henry Heck getting up here working on a double.
Yeah, we talked about the spares being a pretty big part in this match. The 2 leadoff bowlers are off to some pretty slow starts. 1 mark for Howell in the first 2 bowlers in the first 3 frames, but the 4th and 5th bowler with doubles to start and a
Henry Heck posts a 3rd one up there, so
right.
He's got it going on now.
That is right. And Jake Diaz with a pretty hot start to start game number 1, currently with a double here to start game number 2, looking for a triple early on.
Jake is trying to get back on the board where he was last game. Unfortunately, that one shot slipped away from him there going high, leaving a big split, but it didn't really make a whole lot of difference for the team at that point. It was more for himself as he throws another convincing strike right there. But when we're sitting here talking about Jake Diaz, he's averaging 220 this season in high school bowling, which is outstanding. He's got a high game of 300 and a high series of 797.
Yeah.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, anytime you're looking at a guy's average being over 215 for high school bowling, at any point in the season, it's going to be pretty substantial. And we've got Daniel Robertson, by the way, the anchor bowler from Memorial, averaging 236. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's averaging over 700 a match, and he starts off this match with 279. So
yeah, Jimmy unfortunately missing a 1-pin spare there. And Daniel throwing a great shot on a double, leaving a solid 7. Unfortunate break.
yeah, Jackson Memorial looking to get back on track here as they are currently in the lead in game number 2. A little bit into frame number 4 of game number 2.
Nick Kortenhouse trying to make sure he makes a better shot here right now. He's working on 3 opens.
Oh, wow.
That was a much better shot. Unfortunately, the pins didn't agree.
Yeah. Great shot there, leaving the solid 9. One of the worst breaks in bowling. Good thing for him, makeable spare.
Yes.
And hopefully getting his first mark on the board in game number 2. He bowled 226 the last game. Looking to get back on track here. He had a pretty slow start. No marks through the first 3 frames.
No, but I'm going to say that he's going to try to repeat that last shot and knock over this 9-pin right now, just like that.
That's exactly what he does.
That's going to help his team move forward.
Look at Matt Harney up on lane 27.
Howell trying to continue that mojo going.
Goes Brooklyn for the double.
Yeah, and this one goes to the other side of the head pin right now. You can see right there going Brooklyn, but knocking them all over for a good double as we watch Anthony Morrell throw another good solid strike right there. Chris Steppett. Ball drifting high on that left lane. Once again, we still appear to see the high or, well, like we just seen before that, the Brooklyn shot there on that left lane.
Yeah.
So that left lane is certainly hooking more than the right lane.
Yeah, the players that have been there before have definitely made that move necessary, but the ones that have a little less experience may not quite see that. They have to play the 2 lanes differently. That can be something hard to learn as you progress as a player in this sport.
You're right. Henry Heck throwing a fantastic shot there right now, leaving that ringing 10. Really good shot for Chris. I'm sure he would have liked to have had that strike on the board, posting a 4th one for Howell.
As Andrew Klein stepping up on lane 27, looking for a triple. That's a great shot there. Jackson Memorial looking to get back in this match. This match is really close. Both teams currently through about 4 frames. As Daniel Robertson bowling 279 last game, looking to get his first strike in game number 4, or excuse me, in game number 2 in the 4th frame. See, he's stepping up now on 27 to wrap up the 4th frame for Jackson Memorial.
I think right now he's trying to get his first strike on the board. And not to be with a shot like that. The ball drifts high, leaving the 6-9-10. Jake Diaz still continuing to mow them over.
That's right. He's got a pretty hot start, I'd say, to this match. Bowling 260 the first game with the front 9 and is perfect through 4 frames.
He is, but his 260, even though he had the front 9, was not high game on the pair. As the player you're watching right now shoot that spare, Daniel Robertson bowled 279 the first game. So some pretty stellar bowling by both boys' teams here.
Yeah, there were
Especially
definitely some pretty high scores on that pair to start.
Yeah, especially Howell coming out of the gate the way that they did.
So we take one last look at the scoreboard on the guys' side as we are going to switch back over to the girls' matches. They're going to get started here in game number 2. Had a small break in between games. We're looking at Gianna D'Ambrosia shooting at the 3-pin. Leadoff bowler for Jackson Memorial in frame number 1. Makes the spare no problem at all. Both players on both teams, leadoff bowlers, with 9 spares in the first frame.
Yep, and Kaylee gets up on the left lane, leaving a soft 10.
Great shot from her to start the 2nd game. Anytime you're hitting the pocket, it's going to be a pretty good shot.
I think she's happy with the fact of where the ball got to, but she's not happy with the fact that it didn't knock them all over.
Right, right.
So, Antonia missing the head pin by a little bit, getting a 6 count, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 8. At least they're all together, so hopefully if she can get her ball to the left side of the head pin, she can convert that spare. Kaylee shooting a 10-pin. Ball going down the middle of the lane, not close enough to the 10-pin, so Antonia shooting his spare. The idea going left, unfortunately the ball a little too far left, making the 4-8, getting 8 on that frame.
Alyssa stepping up, third bowler for Howell.
On the left lane, that looks like a really good shot right there.
Yep.
Wow. Watch this ball going down the lane. Hopefully we get an opportunity to see that right here.
But we want to take a quick moment as we are in the early stages of game number 2. Some exciting things happening here at Howell Lanes. Newly renovated space is going to be coming down on the low end. Lanes 1 through 5 is going to turn into a VIP entertainment space and a high-class training facility for bowlers of any age, any style, at any level to improve their game. Bones Elite Training and Rev Rates VIP Entertainment is going to be coming soon, coming in the spring of 2022. Down at the low end, construction has started, as you can see. Down at the low end, there is no carpet wall, as that is famous here at Howell Lanes for those of you who have been here for bowling here for a very long time. And some exciting things are going to be going on down there. So check out revratesvip.com, or excuse me, revrates.vip, where you can subscribe to the website and you can stay tuned for all the updates there. As if you're looking to improve your game or enjoy a night out, it is going to be the next high-class training facility and VIP entertainment space in the Northeast.
We're trying to help all bowlers of any average improve their game. So we watch Madison Mosley here on that left lane. Sets up a strike for Howell right there.
That's a pretty good start for Howell. 4 out of 5 marks and 9 in the frame that didn't mark. So pretty good start for them. As we've talked about the whole match. Fill and frame is going to be very important, especially on the girls' side, as the winning team only bowled 830.
Right. Well, if you give them 4 to 5 marks every frame, it's going to propel them a long, long way, very deep into this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're looking at Emily Fogarty getting up in the first, looking to continue that hot streak. She bowled 249 last game, really helping her team to a win in game number 1. Looking to start off game number 2 the same way.
Another great shot by Emily. She's not slowing up. Watch as her ball goes down the lane.
Splits the 8-9. That's another one, what we call 10 straight back.
Another pretty perfectly thrown or rolled shot.
Real great execution
for sure.
there.
And even when you watch Emily bowl, she's solid at the foul line. She gets through every single ball, projects it to her target, and then the ball goes down the lane literally and picks up and does what it needs to do. So we watch Reagan Smith up here on the right-hand lane, working on a spare right now. Ball drifting high, leaving just the 3-pin. So hopefully she can regroup herself to get on board and make another spare.
As Howell currently has the lead, they're going to be up about 10 pins after the first frame. The way the score looks, it's only 2, but Reagan's got the extra shot in there, so it's 20. As there's a slight issue with lane 29 once again. So the Howell girls are going to go through their motions, take their time a little bit as the issue is resolved on lane 29. Reagan is going to get up here and shoot at the 3-pin, looking for her second consecutive 9 spare to start game number 2.
She got it that time.
Yep. Struggled with the makeable spares last game, and definitely hoping to change things up here in game number 2, as she's got a pretty hot start with 2 9 spares.
As we watch Kaylee get up here on the right lane.
Looks like it could be close. Really great shot, leaving the 10-pin. Another opportunity at it, as she left it in the first frame.
typically that's what happens a lot of times. You miss a certain spare, and the very next frame, what happens? You leave the same spare once again.
Yep.
So hopefully she can figure out how to make it this time. Kaylee getting up here on this right-hand lane, shooting a 10-pin.
A little bit closer.
A little bit closer. Just a little bit to the left. She'll have to create a little more angle there. She should move her feet a little further left on the approach. Keep that same target, and that'll get her ball a little bit further right down the lane, and she'll have an opportunity to make that 10-pin, because both of those missed to the left. So trust her swing, just move left with your feet, still walk the same, and just get your swing to go over that same target, and your ball will get there.
So looking at Alyssa here, struck in the first. Great shot there. That's a double on the board to start for Alyssa. As we're going to get a second look at that one here.
Watch this one come back. Scatters them around pretty good. Puts a double on the board and really helps propel Howell to an early lead here in game number 2.
Yeah, that one went out for a hamburger and fries and came back with steak and potatoes. Beth with a strike in the second.
But watch. Bethany says, I'm going to get right behind it there.
Yep, another great shot.
See my teammate get a strike, and I'm going to get a strike.
That's right. So Howell with a pretty good second frame here, as we're going to look at anchor bowler Madison Mosley. Struck in the first, looking to get a double on the board, second double of the team so far, as Gianna's going to step up in the second instead.
Yep. Throws it out there, looks close.
Now that one was pretty good, all 10 fell that one.
Yeah, that was a really good shot by her. Put the strike up there in the second frame, trying to create her own star frame for her team.
Yep.
So we watch Madison Mosley getting up here. Howell working on 2 strikes. Oh, just a little bit light, leaving the 7-pin only. So hopefully she'll be able to make that one there.
So Antonia's going to miss a little left, hoping to get a piece of that 2-pin, and she does, leaving the 1-2-8.
7's not bad as long as she can make the spare.
That's right. We're going to look at Madison Mosley shooting a 7-pin in the second frame, trying to wrap up a pretty good frame from Howell. Their second pretty good frame, as they've got 4 out of 5 marks again with the double going into the third.
Makes that spare pretty convincingly. 4 girls marked, and Alyssa posting a double up there. That gives Howell 5 marks for frame number 2, which is a really solid frame moving forward there.
As Antonia is going to miss all 3, giving her 15 in the second. We're going to look at Amanda D'Ambrosia in the second, following a open frame, looking to get back on track here with a pretty good shot here in the second.
Throws it way out there.
Gives it a chance. Going to go high. Fortunate enough to get 9, leaving just a 3-pin.
Broke it down really good to leave only the 3-pin. Ball drifting right through the nose. But hopefully she can make a small move right now and get her ball over there to knock over the 3-pin to stand it up at the other end. You know, Justin, even though we're only looking at the 2 teams that we have here right now, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that there's some 100 high school boys and girls here right now bowling throughout the facility. There's a couple of other significant matches happening throughout the lanes as you look towards the middle of the house, down towards the low end. But the great thing about it is they're all here representing their own high schools and representing their colors that they stand tall and proud for.
Yep, we're looking at Gianna Massey here. Great shot there from
What
her.
a wonderful shot by that young lady there.
So we get a whole look at Howell Lanes, the B South division, as we talked about earlier, that wall being reconstructed down on the low end. Got a nice look at all the bowlers here competing today.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Absolutely.
Really cool.
So we are looking at Emily Fogarty here in the second, working on a strike, looking for a double, and she gets
right over the first arrow. That ball was laced right over the first arrow as her ball goes down the lane. she posts a double on the board.
Now we're going to go back over to the guys. While we were gone, Anthony Morrell with a 4-bagger on the board. Jake Diaz, run at perfection, ended in the 5th with a 9 spare, followed by a strike in the 6th. And looking up at the scoreboard, I think we've got a pretty close match here. Howell with the slight lead, but it is definitely not a lot. This game's a lot closer than the first game.
Yes, this game is up for grabs by anybody, for sure.
As Henry Hecht misses the spare, and that's going to hurt their team. As filling frames, there's lots of strikes on the board right now, and filling frames are going to be key. As Daniel Robertson makes a great shot, ringing the 10 in the 7th frame.
You know, and it's funny, you sit here and look at Daniel Robertson's game right now. The first game, he only missed striking 1 ball for 279. This game, he's in the 7th frame, and he's only struck 1 ball for the first 7 frames. So, funny game, the sport of bowling.
Absolutely. Daniel Robertson goes high there. Very fortunate to get the 9 out, only to leave the 4. So he was looking at a split there, but got the 9 to fall. Daniel Robertson makes a spare. Clean so far through 7 frames, only with 1 strike, and looking to change that momentum as he changed balls from the first game while we were gone.
Yeah, he's trying to get reacclimated, get relined up so that he can help his team right now. He knows filling frames, the team is hanging in there, but he wants to try to figure out how to get back on that strike train so he can throw a couple of strikes up there, not only to help himself, but really propel the team in that forward motion.
By the way, through 7 frames on the guy's side, we're looking at a 4-pin match. Howell just barely in the lead.
Yes.
We're looking at leadoff bowler Jimmy Byer here.
Jimmy working on a double. Splashes him around pretty good. That's a big shot when you're on a double and you can get another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Leadoff bowler Danny Elias for Jackson Memorial. Great shot there in the 8th on a strike. Now he's got a double of his own.
Yeah, Daniel follows it right back up with a great shot of his own. You're correct. Nick Kortenhouse up right now. Nick, we know a couple frames ago he solid 9'd over here, so he's working on a strike right now, trying to see if he can't put a double up on the board, just like that.
Yep, great shot for
Wonderful shot for him.
Now he's got a double of his own. And this match is going to get very interesting, very exciting as it comes down to the end. Matt Harney with a great shot there in the 8th. As we're going to take another look at Matt Harney's shot.
Watch this
Split
ball.
in the 8-9. Perfect.
Goes through the heart of the pins there, a little bit on the high side, but fortunately so, the ball went through the pins, caught a piece of that 9, and it fell over for another good solid strike. Anthony Morrell.
Chris Steppen here stepping up first. Going just high, fortunate enough just to leave the 6-pin. Anthony Morrell stepping up on a 4-bagger. Looking to make it 5 here in the 8th. Great shot there.
That was a wonderful shot there.
Yep. That's a 5-bagger for him.
This ball get down to Laney. Four in a row, and then his ball still gets perfectly through the pins for a 5-bagger. Howell has 3 guys working on 2 or more strikes right now, the front 3 bowlers.
Yep, as Henry Heck stepping up after missing the 10-pin in the 7th, looking to get back on the strike train with a shot in the 8th. Gets right early, goes just high for the 4-pin.
Just a little bit high, 4-pin only.
Andrew Klein looking to make a statement, working on a double, looking to make it 3. This is a big shot here for Jackson Memorial.
Oh! What a fantastic shot that was for Andrew. Unfortunate break, leaving a solid 7 like that.
Yeah, that's not what he wanted when he threw it as good as he did, going just over the 7.
Yeah,
good thing he got the 9 out, but it's still not the result that he wanted.
Exactly. He was looking for a little bit more than 9 on a hit like that.
Yeah.
So Henry Heck makes the spare that time. Andrew Klein getting up here, shooting a 7-pin.
Make the spare, no problem.
Makes his spare. So we watch Jake Diaz. Jake had 260 the first game. And he's pacing at 229 right now, working on a spare.
Looking to get back on the strike train.
That'll do it.
There from Jake.
Yep.
By the way, he's only got less than 9 once. And we're going to take another look at that one. Throws it really good. Gets a 10, last to fall.
I'd say that was really
great
good.
Shot.
Daniel Robertson gets up and strikes as well. So Howell with 8 marks on the board, and Jackson with 6 marks on the board. Looks like Howell has a 25-pin lead going into the 9th frame.
Yeah, so we're going to stay over on the boys' side until this game is over, because this is a pretty close match, and whatever way this goes, Howell's going to have to win all 3, like we talked about earlier today. Howell's going to have to win all 3 to give themselves any chance at the division title.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to get in the Jackson's head here if they post another victory up this game.
Yeah. Danny Elias makes a spare there in the 9th. And Jimmy Byer puts a 4-timer on the board with a strike in the 9th.
Jimmy's coming into his own right now.
Yeah.
He's throwing some pretty good clutch shots as we're getting down the home stretch here in game number 2. Nick Kortenhouse working on a double right now up here on the left lane. Gets it out there. Oh!
That's the same hit that Andrew Klein just had on that lane, just on the other side.
That lane is being quite unfriendly right now.
Yeah, Matt Harney with a pretty clutch shot there in the 9th for
Let's
a double.
Watch Matt's shot one more time here. That was a perfectly rolled shot.
Yep. So that's going to help his team out, as that's a double on the board. Anytime you throw more than 1 in a row, it's a double, and that's going to really help the score. And that's exactly what Jackson Memorial needs, as they are currently down in the match. Chris Steppett stepping up here in the 9th, looking to set himself up for the 10th frame. Great shot there for him.
That was a very well rolled shot as well. This ball gets down there. Uh-oh, that looks like it's a little too far right that time. Nick was looking for a strike there on that ball at first, and unfortunately leaving the 10 pin. So we watch
an open frame.
Yep, Andrew Klein, last one to fall that time was the 7 again.
And he's gonna have to move a little bit left.
Yeah, watch this replay. You're gonna notice that pins go to the left side. The 7 was the last one to fall, where before that same shot on the left lane, the 7 did stand.
Anthony Morrell, exciting strike there. That's a 6-bagger going into the 10th frame for him. Bowled 269 the first game, and looking to bowl the same thing again.
Anthony Morrell certainly has it going on right now.
As Danny Robertson gets a
watch
double.
Daniel Robertson right here on the right lane. Ball comes back, goes right through the pins.
First
Perfect.
double of the game. As he bowled 279.
Yeah, he bowled 279 in the last game.
Henry Heck there. Great shot there.
Henry Heck
sets himself up.
Getting back on the board.
That's right. So Jake Diaz, big shot here. Stepping up in the 9th on a strike. Looking to put himself in the 230s going into the 10th frame. With a strike here, Howell is going to be up 23. Make that 33 now.
You think he liked that shot? Watch this.
Yeah. That was pretty ace off of his hand.
That it was. Shots like that is why they've determined he is the guy for that last spot.
Right. Well, 260 last game, looking at a possible 259 this game. He's going to put himself at a pretty big number after 2.
Howell up by 23 going into the 10th frame here. As Jackson, leadoff bowler, Daniel gets up and throws the first shot in the 10th for a strike.
Joey Byer, big shot there. Misses left, goes Brooklyn, fortunate enough only to leave the 5-pin. As he's looking at a spare. Really saved his game there. Had 4 out of the first 5 open frames, then followed it up with a 4-bagger. So,
yeah. Lets that one get away from him, but fortunately only leaves a 5-pin, so for him, just repeat the strike process.
As Danny Elias, big shot there, double in the 10th. As we're going to get a second look at Danny's shot. Big shot there for Jackson Memorial as they were down 23 coming into the 10th. Jimmy missed the first ball in the 10th. Danny threw a double.
Exactly.
So,
So 13-pin game.
Yep, that's right. We're talking about a close game here.
13-pin game with each leadoff bowler rather, having one shot left. Daniel only getting 7 on that first shot there. I'm sorry, his last shot in the 10th frame, getting 7 for a final score of 202. And Jimmy Byer can strike right here for 183 if he gets them all to cooperate. Perfectly done. Watch this replay, one more shot. That was a very good fill ball there. So he allows his team to stay in the lead by 15 pins. Matt Harney working on a double, goes high for the 4-7.
Great shot there. Unfortunate break leaving the 10. But like we talked about at the top of the show, it was going to be very beneficial for Howell to win all 3 games today to have any chance of the division title, as they were down 5 points coming in, winning the first game. If they don't win this game, their shot at the title is going to be all but over.
It's going to be very hard.
Be locked up.
Very, very hard. They right now, Howell needs Nick to make this spare to keep the pressure on Jackson.
Yep. Matt already made his spare in the 10th. Nick Kortenhouse looking to do the same. Makes the spare, no problem there.
Good shot there, good frame filler. It's a 17-pin game right now. Howell's in the lead. So this fill ball is very important as well.
For count purposes, and gets them all to fall.
Gets them all to fall.
Good enough.
Good shot there.
And pretty big shot here from Chris Steppett as he is on a strike. 2 in the 10th is going to be very helpful for Memorial.
Well, as we watch Nick Kortenhouse throw his fill ball here, Matt Harney had 190 up there. Nick Kortenhouse can strike just like that for 160.
We heard lots of noise there from Nick Kortenhouse. Big shot there from him.
You think he didn't realize that shot meant something?
Yep.
For sure.
And that's a very unfortunate break for Chris Steppett, going just a tad high, leaving the 4-9. And that's most likely going to lead to an open frame, and that's not what he wanted to do.
No.
In fact, the exact opposite of what he wanted to do.
Exactly, especially when he's trying to help his team at that point.
That's a big shot from Anthony Morell, and that
Anthony Morell is on fire right now.
That's a
look at this
7-bagger for him. That's going to put their team in pretty good position to win this game, as Chris just misses the 4-pin. Going to be an open frame for him.
Chris
and Anthony strikes on a bunch in a row.
Correct.
Howell's going to be in a pretty good spot to win this game.
Chris Steppett with a final score of 179. We do have to keep in mind, folks, that all the players left are all working on at least one strike. So an open frame can be very costly, but a couple of strikes can really go a long, long way, as Anthony Morell throws a convincing second shot there in the 10th.
Yeah, and Howell's going to be up 50 going to the last 2 bowlers, and with a failed strike from Andrew Klein, Howell is going to win game number 2.
Yeah, Andrew's
not as much this game, but they are going to win game number 2, and the total wood doesn't matter, so as long as they win by 1, they win the point.
The key is just winning.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you want to be up as many as possible because it just takes some of the heat off of the guys behind you. But at the end of the game, the way that it would unfold, if your score is 1 more higher than the opponent's, a win is a win.
That's another big game from Anthony Morell. 269 both games so far.
Final shot delivered by Anthony Morell as the ball goes perfectly through the pocket, knocking all 10 down for the back 9 in a row for a wonderful 269 game. That's 2 solid games for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. not too many times that bowlers have an opportunity for 800, and Anthony Morel is right there.
Yeah.
Wow, what a shot there by Henry Heck.
And we said it was over. Now it's over.
Now it's over.
Henry Hecht with the first one in the 10th. Andrew Klein failing to get the first one in the 10th. And Howell is going to win the first 2 games. But, like we talked about, Memorial's still with the opportunity to basically lock it up. They're going to have to win this game, this last game. If not, Howell is going to be down 2 with just 3 matches left. And if Memorial runs into 1 or 2 games that don't go their way, it could be really close for that division title in the boys' side.
The big thing right now is Howell is certainly telling Jackson Memorial, we want you to know that we are breathing down your neck.
Exactly.
As you watch Henry Heck's ball, watch the 6-pin go to the sidewall and just snap that 10 right out of there. It's a bowler's dream shot.
Yep. As Danny Robertson fails to get the first one in the 10th, going Brooklyn, leaving the 6-pin.
Breaking loose from the lane, going Brooklyn. Daniel's a little bit on the loss side right now.
Yeah,
but for Daniel, he's got to regroup and try to get repositioned so that he can help the team out. And when I say it, you know, because we're talking about a whole team game here. When one player can really figure out what the move is, he can transcend that through the other players and help get them lined up too. Regardless whether they're hooking the ball a lot or hooking the ball a little bit. All of a sudden, they have that team mojo that they can talk to one another and they know what moves to make. Howell obviously is making those moves. We know that the lane's changing. They're constantly moving a little bit in some way, shape, or form, more than likely to the left. But the moves are showing up in the fact of their score because once again, they're posting a solid game over 1,000 as we watch Jake Diaz throw a great shot for a solid 8 there. That is the only true tap-in bowling. Solid 8 for a right-hander, solid 8, solid 9 for a left-hander. Daniel Robertson still watching his ball hook high for a final score of 200.
And like we talked about, Anthony Morel having a chance at 800. Jake Diaz is going to have a very similar chance, as he is also going to be more than 500 at the turn going into the final game. Scratch that, never mind, my math is off. It's been a little bit since I went to high school. He's going to be at 498 with a strike on the fill ball.
Exactly. Still a stellar day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still going to be pretty close to 800.
I'll tell you what.
In the last game.
Every time I'm on the lanes, if you can tell me I'm going to have 498 for 2, I will gladly take it and let everybody else fight for it.
Yeah, that's a 249 average for the 2 games so far. That math I can do, by the way.
Okay. So, the fact that he's only missed a pocket 1 shot all day.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Another great shot right there in a fill ball. Watch this ball, the one that left the solid 8 a minute ago. Well, this time the ball says not this time.
Yep.
You're going down.
So Howell with the win in game number 2. 1059 to 986. And Howell has put a statement in the first 2 games. And they're giving themselves a chance at this division title. They're going to have to win this last game if they want any chance going into the last 3 matches. As we are going to swap back over to the girls. I'm going to hop out of the booth here for a quick minute. And I'm going to let you take over for a few.
All right, Justin. Well, as we're turning back over here to the girls right now, Emily Fogarty had the front 4 and unfortunately left a split there as the anchor bowler for Jackson Memorial. But Jackson Memorial is in the lead this game, but only by a few pins. As we watch Reagan Smith coming up a little bit light, leaving the 4-5 split. Getting 1 right now. And Gianna makes her spare. So as we look up here on the right lane, Kaylee unfortunately working on an open right now, trying to come back after that last frame. Wonderful shot. Throwing a convincing strike on the board. as Antonia gets up here in the 6th frame right now. Ball getting a little bit too far to the left, knocking down 4 pins. The ball comes back, she'll have to hit the front. The pin in the front right there, that head pin, that's going to be your best opportunity to make that. Alyssa Riccio getting up here on the right lane right now. Working on an open, throwing the ball way out there as the ball hooks back. Just missing the 1 in the front. Leaving the 1-2 for an 8 count. Antonio, that's a much better pass at it. Getting close, hitting the right side of the head pin, getting 8 total for the frame. As Alyssa shooting the 1-2 right now, perfectly done. Keeping this match very, very close. Up on the left lane right now for Jackson, Amanda. Working on a spare, misses the headpin to the left, getting a 7 count. Beth Horvath working on a double, trying to turn it into a triple, goes high, but leaving a baby split, the 2-7. So let's see if Amanda can't make this spare here right now and keep this game fairly close. That looks close. Oh! She had the sleeper back there. She had the 9-pin. We didn't see that from our angle.
Yeah, that ball hooked just past it. It's Beth Horvath shooting at the baby split, giving it a chance.
Oh, making it on the outside.
That she does.
Wonderful spare, helping the team.
Gianna Massey. You see that at the same time. Working on a 4-timer here. So they call it on tour of the ham bone. Looking for 5 in a row here.
That's got a good chance right there.
Great shot there from her.
That ball nudges the 10 right out of there. Madison Mosley working on a spare. Throws a great shot of her own.
Great pitch there from her as we're going to get a second look at that.
Goes right through. Perfectly done. And Emily Fogarty
had the front 4, split in the 5th, and gets right back on track with a strike in the 6th. Bowled 249 last game, and currently has 5 out of 6 to start game number 2.
Correct, and Jackson Memorial right now is up by 21 pins going into the 7th frame. So 21 pins still makes it anybody's game with 4 frames to go, Justin.
Yeah. Since we took a little bit of extra time to stay over on the boys' side to watch the end of their game, we're going to stay over here for the girls for the rest of the game, last 4 frames. The matches get a little bit more interesting at the end of the game. So just keep it a little more interesting that way for the viewers at home.
Reagan Smith posted a strike on the board that time.
Yeah, great shot there from her. We will keep you guys updated on the boys periodically, but we're going to stay over here for the girls for the rest of the game. So a great shot there for Gianna on the spare. Clean so far through 7 frames, 1 strike, 6 spares. As she's got herself a pretty good game, pretty good start to game number 2.
Yes, she does.
That one was not very good from Kaylee, going right in the gutter.
Yeah, Kaylee gets that ball out there a little bit wide right sometimes, and the ball slips in the gutter. The fortunate thing for Kaylee, a couple of times today, she doesn't let that gutter bother her. She comes right back and possesses a really great second ball, where twice today we know that she has gone gutter spare.
Yeah, and by the way, this game so far, she's got 9 strikes or gutters.
Yeah.
So when she keeps it on the lane, it's pretty good.
Let's hope that she follows it up with a better pass this time.
And unfortunately, does the exact same thing she did the first one.
Yeah, that was not what she was looking for. Antonia. 3 off the right on the first effort and 3 off the left on the second effort. So we're going to see Alyssa gets up here on the left lane.
Looking to get back on track on this lane. She's got 2 opens, back-to-back frames on the left lane. Looking to kind of get back on track. As she steps up here in the 7th. Gets it right, sees the friction, stands up, and gets them all to fall. That's a pretty good shot right there.
I think she's rather happy about that one.
Yeah, we're going to take a second look at that one.
As it comes back from about the 3 board there, and the ball goes into the pocket. And certainly knocks them all over.
You know, it's amazing how quickly some matches wrap up when there are less bowlers on the pairs. There are matches already done, and we're looking at the bottom of the 7th frame in game number 2. People already walking out the door, getting ready to go on the bus. Mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, well, that can happen.
And how bowlers bowl at different speeds. The guys' match is in frame number 2 of game number 3, and the girls are in frame number 7 of game 2.
Correct. The girls had 1 or
ahead.
2 mishaps with lane 29 there.
Yep.
But, you know, fortunately things are underway right now, and I don't want to jinx it, but let's go with working smoothly.
Yes, it's amazing how things can happen. That's how I'm putting it. As, we're going to look back at Gianna Massey working on a 5-timer as she steps up in the 7th frame, looking to make it 6. Let's see what she can do here on lane 30.
Let's repeat the process right now for her. Got another chance. Look at that, convincingly.
Great shot there from her.
Watch this ball go down the lane, and as it enters the pocket, it just rips right through the rack, throwing the pins all over. What a quality shot for that girl. Madison Mosley throws another strike of her own up there on the board, giving Howell a double.
But this match is, this game is all towards Jackson Memorial right now on the girls' side. So Emily Fogarty steps up on a strike, looking to make it a double. And great shot, doesn't get the 10 to fall.
Nope, leaving the 10 pin over there. So once again, she will pick up her spare ball, move to the left side of the approach. She will probably look around the 4th arrow and watch the ball go cross lane and hopefully knock over the spare that's standing at the other end. Notice where she's standing on the left side of the approach there.
Most bowlers shoot their spares, their single pins, cross the lane. Gives themselves the most miss room, the most area to make the spare.
Yep, so that looked fantastic. We're going to switch back to the boys here for a couple of minutes. Boys are finishing up frame number 2. Daniel Robertson leaving a 9-pin standing at the other end. As we look at the scoreboard right now, Howell literally posting strikes up once again, getting ready to step all over top of Jackson Memorial at the present moment.
Yes.
For Jackson Memorial, they just have to take a step or 2 back and go, okay, guys, what are we missing here?
Yeah, they got to figure out how to get lined up and figure out how to get what Howell has, because they can basically lock up the division title here, being in the lead by 3 points with a win here. And Howell has stepped all over them the first 2 games.
Yes, they have. So we watch another great shot by Jimmy there.
Another great shot from Danny.
Danny puts his own strike on the board, matching him.
Look at a replay there from Jimmy, splitting the 8-9.
Nick Kortenhouse working on a strike right now as we watch him in the frame. Throws it out there, coming back. Wonderful shot by Nick.
He looks like he's changed balls, and his ball reaction has gotten a whole lot better from just the one shot that I've seen. Cleaner ball, seems to be making a shape on the lane much better as the lanes have transitioned like we talked about earlier. The oil is a physical substance, so it does change from shot to shot, and as time goes on. And as time goes on, you're going to want to go from more solid cover balls to cleaner balls, as we say. They're more shinier typically, and they just make a better move on the dry, on the transition, on the friction, and that's exactly what Nick has done and gave himself better ball reaction. More chance for more score.
Yeah, well, this ball is certainly saving energy for the right part of the lane.
Exactly. As Chris Stepick gets up, throws a double, in the second and third, and Jackson Memorial has all 3 strikes in the third frame.
Well, Anthony Morale throws a really good shot here, leaving a 4-9. We've seen that a couple times today as he makes a pass at the 4-9, getting one of the pins.
And he had an opportunity for 800 going into this game, and unfortunately that chance just went out the window with that tough break in the third.
Correct. Well, I don't know if he's worried about 800 as much as he wants their team to win another game.
Exactly.
Winning the game will definitely bring the whole team mojo up in a positive spot. Henry Heck gets on the board, front 2. Watch this one in the third frame. 2-pin was all over that 7.
That's right. As Jackson Memorial star frame in the third. Star frame meaning all 5 players struck in that frame.
Jake Diaz working on a double here, trying to see if he can make it 3 in a row. And he does, and 4 out of 5 players strike for Howell. The only one that did not strike was Anthony Morale. Well, you know what? He's posted quite a bit of those strikes today, so as much as he might be a little down, he has nothing to be depressed about. Just turn things around and continue to hit the pocket and hope that they all fall over. So
we look back up at Jimmy Byer here on the left lane.
Working on a strike.
Gets
throwing
it way
right out.
And sees that early friction when you get it to that spot. And his ball went high, leaving the 6-10. As Danny Elias, just another good shot up on the board there. That's a double for him in the third and fourth. All of Memorial's players are going to have a chance to get a double if they aren't already on a double. As they all struck in the last frame. Jimmy Byer up shooting a 6-10.
Shooting a 6-10, drifting a little bit too far to the right. Sliding into the gutter.
As Matt Harney steps up on 28. Goes Brooklyn. Hey, all 10 fell. That's a double.
That's exactly what it is.
And that's their second double in the third and fourth.
Tugs it inside of target. The ball goes left of the head pin, better known as a Brooklyn strike because it hit the left side of the head pin for a right-handed bowler. But it does say strike. In his case, it says double.
Yep. It's Nick Kortenhouse makes a pretty good shot, going just a tad high, leaving the 6-10. Chris Steppett with a chance for a triple here in the fourth. Playing the super far outside line, right of the first arrow.
Looking at his fingers, almost like he would have lost that off his hand there, but
yep.
Ball laying out there on the right side of the lane. Once again, the right lane, 210.
Yep. Just looking at Nick Kortenhouse shooting the spare here, 6-10.
Hold on.
And he's going to hook past it, missing the 6-pin, getting just the 10. And that's not the start that Howell wanted, as Memorial took a pretty commanding lead to start the game. And Howell's really helping him out here so far, as they've got 2 open frames in the fourth. Even with the open frame from Chris Steppett in the fourth. Just looking at
they want to regroup and get things back on track. Anthony Morale certainly did that.
Yep, as he slaps the 10 silly. Great shot there from him.
The 6-pin goes to the sidewall and slaps that 10 out convincingly, posting another strike on the board.
And Andrew Klein with a double of his own. So 3 out of 4 Memorial players will be on a double going into the 5th frame. And Danny Robertson has a chance to be the 4th player on their team with a double.
Henry Heck, meanwhile, working on a triple here right now.
Great shot there from him.
Super shot for Henry Heck.
He's got the front 4 perfect through 4 frames here early. Danny Robertson way right, gets them all to fall. Great shot there from him. As 4 out of 5 Memorial players with a double.
With a double. That's a statement.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's going to add up the score really quick when 4 out of 5 players can throw a double.
That it will.
Jake Diaz goes high, leaving the 3-6-10.
Left lane been the tricky lane for hooking high.
Yep.
The players got to look at the vast majority of them all going high.
Yeah, as the match goes on, as the lanes start to transition, the further right you get it, the more it seems to hook. That seems to be the common occurrence here in these high school matches when you've got all these guys with these high rev rates, making the lanes transition very, very quickly. as we're going to look back over at the girls as their match is wrapping up here soon.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the 9th frame right now. The scoreboard says 23-pin game, but I'm going to tell you right now, we have a couple of strikes on the bottom there by Madison Mosley that certainly will make the game appealing for anybody.
And give Howell a chance. But Jackson Memorial did win the first game, and it looks like they are going to just about wrap up the division title. Jackson Memorial girls. As Amanda gets up shooting the 10-pin, gives it a chance, and is going to miss it left on the lane.
Yes, a little bit too far to the left there.
But hey, both of these teams with a chance to make the state finals here coming up. The sectional tournament is going to be coming up here soon. And with that being said, this could be a confidence booster, being able to compete with a team at a high level, being able to compete with the top 2 teams, being able to compete with each other at this level is going to be very helpful for their confidence. Hopefully get the team
when they
together.
Go to yes, exactly. When they go to the state tournament, it's a lot of bowling in one day, but one day literally is anybody's game at that point.
Right, so having that confidence going into that one day can be super helpful for them. And being able to compete with each other should help both of their confidence levels. And even back to the boys' side, even if Howell does not get to that division title like they want to, being able to beat Jackson Memorial 2 games today is making a statement.
Yes, yes.
So
It's going to give them confidence going into those other singular matches. As we watch Gianna miss a little bit too far to the right there, missing the 610. Beth leaving a washout over here on the left lane. Going high and getting 2 more of the pins. It's a 9-pin game right now, as Emily is working on a strike and Madison is working on 3 in a row. First up, Emily Fogarty. What a great shot there in the 9th frame. Wow, that was fantastic. Watch this ball go right into the pocket.
Great shot there from her, as that's a double, and she can have another chance for 240 going into the 10th. It's Madison Mosley working on a triple, looking for 4, gets them all to fall. And this match is going to be exciting.
Watch this one, more or less right back at you, she says. Our team has a chance to win, and I know it.
Yep.
So it's a 9-pin game right now. Very, very tight. Jackson Memorial up by 9, but this is a really big shot here. Reagan is the only one working on a singular strike here, besides the 2 anchor bowlers that are both working on 2 or more.
Reagan Smith, big shot here, first one on the 10th. Great shot there from her.
Wow. Man, when your team is down by 9 pins and you're on a strike and you throw it like this, ooh, that is sweetness right there.
Yep. The update on the guys match, Henry Hecht, perfection through 5, has 5 strikes in the first 5 frames. A little update from the guys' side.
We'll roll back over there momentarily after we get done with the 10th frame here on the girls.
Gianna's going to shoot her spare first, shooting at the 10-pin in the 10th frame.
It looks to me like this game on the girls is going to come down to the last bowler.
I think it will, and especially with that open frame there from their leadoff bowler for Jackson Memorial as they had the lead. This is going to be really close coming down to the wire.
Yes, this is another super big shot here for Reagan Smith, as now she got the first one in the 10th, but she has a really good chance to capitalize on that with 1 more.
Looks pretty good.
That was a repeat of the last shot.
Yep.
Watch
shot
this.
there from
this
her.
Is exactly the way that her first ball went through the pins, and it does it 1 more time right there.
As Antonia goes high, leaving the 4-pin.
Wow, for Reagan to be struggling the way that she was for the most part, those shots right there by far supersede all the other 19 frames.
Yep. I would totally agree. Stepping up in a moment like that when her team needs it most and being able to throw a triple late in the game is big.
Exactly.
It's all of them to fall in the 10th. 194 for Reagan Smith.
One more time as we watch her ball get into the 1-3 and knock them all over, finishing with a 194. Reagan Smith. What a fantastic finish.
And Antonia with the spare in the 10th. Big spare there for her.
The leadoff bowler, Gianna, for Jackson Memorial, bowls 172. Antonia can strike out for 112 on the fill ball.
You know, that one didn't look all too bad, but creeps high, leaving a split and looking at an open frame here for Howell as they took the momentum from the leadoff bowler, and it, well, went right back to Memorial as Antonia has a mark in the 10th, gets 9 on the fill ball. So
9's a pretty big fill ball.
Good 10th frame for her. And Kaylee's looking like she's going to open here in the 10th frame. She only gets 1 there.
She only gets 1. Kaylee bowls exactly 100. Antonio bowls 111. And right now it is an 11-pin game.
Howell in the lead.
Is in the lead as we have a nail biter right now.
As Alyssa steps up for Howell first. First bowler in the 3rd position to take a crack at the 10th frame. Taking her time here. Misses a little left, misses the head pin left, leaving the 1-2-8-10.
Yeah, a little tricky spare, but she has an opportunity to make that.
Yep. Fortunately for her, no count loss. She was on an open.
Exactly.
And that's a bad break. Hitting the head pin and walking away with a split. She leaves the 5-10 in the 10th.
Yeah, unfortunately for Amanda, that wasn't a very good break.
No.
She easily could have got 9 or even a strike on a shot like that.
Right. So as we'll look here at Alyssa, looking to make the spare. This is a big, big spare as Amanda for Memorial is looking at an open frame. Looking to increase their lead to 20. And that's all 4.
What a fantastic shot. Watch this as her ball hits that one in the front. 3-pin goes to the wall, takes out the 10. The ball takes out the back pin. Tremendous spare for her.
As Howell is going to take a, at most, 22-pin lead going into the last 2 bowlers, as depending on what Alyssa gets on her fill ball here.
It does, but the big thing with this match, by all means, is going to come down to the 2 bowlers in the 10th frame.
Yeah, because the 2 bowlers in the 10th frame are bowling pretty good games as is, and they both can show up when they need it. It's just a matter of how close it's going to be, and will one have a chance to step up and make that shot. And that's going to be good enough.
9 is fantastic.
As Alyssa gets 9 on the fill ball, Howell going to be up 21 going into the last 2 bowlers.
Alyssa bowled 158 that time. Amanda bowled 106. Like you said, Howell is up 21 pins with the last 2 bowlers remaining.
And this is a big 10th frame for Gianna. She had back-to-back opens, but had a bunch in a row earlier in the game. And a spare here is going to be huge for her as she leaves the 4-7.
Or for Gianna, it looks to me like the lanes broke down a little bit.
Yep.
And now her ball's going high. So she needs to move a little bit further left on the approach to find a little bit more oil so her ball can get back into the pocket.
Right.
We seen her last ball go high for a 6-10. Unfortunately, we did not see what she did there in the 8th frame. But now she goes high once again. So if she moves a little bit left on the approach, her ball could get back in the pocket and, well,
start doing the right thing again.
It'll do exactly what it needs to do more times than not to knock them over.
Huge spare here for Beth to possibly keep the lead. And ball hooks just at the end. She's going to bowl 179. Gianna with a strike on the fill ball is going to bowl 224. And we're looking at a possible 10-pin match going into the last bowler in the 10th frame. Now, this is not very often you see a 10th frame like this coming down to the last bowler within 15 or 20 pins. let alone a possible 10. As she throws that one perfect.
You think she moved that time?
I think she made the right move. She got all 10 to fall.
Watch this ball go down the lane out there about the 3 board and it hooks all the way back, right into the pocket, knocking all 10 pins down.
Madison Mosley on 4 in a row. Great shot there from her. Smacks the 10.
Wow.
Silly. As Emily Fogarty
That was a really good shot by
she
Madison.
needs this one to stay in the match.
Yes, she does.
Great shot
She
there
gets
from
it.
her. And she also smacks the 10 out. Madison Mosley is going to need this one in the 10th to lock up game number 2 for Howell.
Right, without a strike here, Emily Fogarty can get up and strike the next 2 balls
And win.
For
By
the team.
single digits.
Yes.
By single digits here. As Madison Mosley is going to be the first to crack. Needs the first one, or the second one in the 10th to win the game for Howell.
Big shot. Trust me, these girls all know it too.
And you're going to hear this place loud if she strikes this one. Looks close. Goes just a touch high for a 4-pin. Emily Fogarty now with the chance to win the game. Second shot in 10th, going to be huge.
This is a big shot.
It's close. Gets the 7 to fall late. And that might be the biggest break of the game.
Ball goes light, looks like the 7's gonna stand, and then it just says, I'm gonna fall over.
So Madison Mosley, big spare here.
Huge.
To determine how much Emily is going to need. And she just misses it. Now Emily is only going to need 9 on the fill ball. Emily Fogarty with 9 or more on the fill ball is going to win this game for Jackson Memorial. It's close. And that's enough. Jackson Memorial girls win this game by one pin. Huge finish.
What a finish that was. You talk about exciting, keeping everybody on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, you don't see a match like this very often. And when you do, it's always exciting.
Yep, that's why every pin counts. And we know that these ladies out here are trying to get everything they can, but boy, when you look at that, you can figure out a lot of ways to come up with 1 or 2 more pins.
Yep.
So.
And that, if Jackson Memorial girls didn't lock up that title in the first game, they definitely did.
They definitely did there. So, back to the boys we go right now.
We're going to stay over here for their final 3-ish frames left.
Howell is up again by about 50 pins right now.
Jake Diaz working on a double, looking to make it a triple.
Looking to make it a triple, and
oh,
slaps that 10. Notice the way the 6 went to the gutter and did its business on that 10. Watch this right here. This is a little tenderly love and care. 6 right to the gutter. Oh, and just slaps the 10.
That's right.
So when we look at the game right now, Howell is up by 75 pins again with just 3 frames to go. But Daniel starts off with a strike in the 8th frame for Jackson. And Jimmy Byer misses the head pin for a 6 count. Brooklyn strike for a double for Matt Harney. Certainly going to help the team.
Exactly. Especially when Memorial needs to throw a couple to get back in this match. This is going to be a big game because them being within 2 points of the lead instead of 4 is going to be a big difference for Howell if they want any chance at winning this division title. Especially because these two teams won't bowl each other again.
Correct.
As Chris Steppett gets the 5 out after the open frame. Good rebound for him.
Gets a little love off the sidewall there with that head pin coming back to take out the 5.
Yep. Nick Kortenhouse
splashes him around. Watch this ball coming from the left side of your screen there. Gonna hook up to the pocket, mix him around, hit him thin, let him spin.
Hit him thin and watch him spin, that's right. As Andrew Klein strikes in the 8th as well. Three-bagger for him.
Andrew's got a three-bagger on the board.
And that's almost, I say almost, a star frame for Jackson Memorial with Danny Robertson left to bowl. The man leading this division by 16 pins a game in average individually.
That's a big, big statement right there.
Oh, gets the 7 late to fall. Big
How about this shot?
there.
Almost that solid 7 again. Watch your pins go over top the left side of the screen there. Oh, and the 7 is there and
Not
just
anymore.
barely falls out.
That's a big frame from Jackson Memorial. They needed to make a comeback as they were down in the game. And that's not a great shot from Henry Heck there from Howell, as he is looking at one of the hardest non-splits in bowling, the 3-6-9-10, and possibly potentially looking at an open frame here, as this is not the easiest spare to shoot at.
No, especially in game 3 when we all know the lanes are breaking down, and that's already the lane that they keep continuing to go high on.
Right.
So we're going to see how Henry goes about attacking this spare.
And only gets 3.
Yeah.
This match just got a lot closer with all 5 bowlers from Memorial striking in the 8th frame.
Comes up a little bit high, chopping that spare.
We could be looking at the same opportunity that we just saw on the girls' side, also on the guys' side in game number 3.
Yeah, it really depends what Jake Diaz does here. If Jake strikes on this ball, then Howell is down 55. I'm sorry, Memorial's down 55. And he does. Jake's still going strong. So as we look at the scoreboard there right now, each side has a double. Howell has an open, so it is a 56-pin game.
46. And make it 36 now as Danny Elias doubles in the 8th and 9th.
Yep. And a strike on the board there for Jimmy.
Sets himself up for a 10th frame. Matt Harney, big shot as he's on a double, goes Brooklyn.
Again.
And he seems to be liking that left side of that head pin. As we've seen him do that a couple
He's
times
got a little
for a double.
tenderly loving care for that side.
That's right. As, he's now on a triple. Danny's on a double going into the 10th frame. Let's see what Chris Steppett can do here in the 9th as we get a look at Nick Kortenhouse here from Howell on the left side. Good shot there from him, as that's a pretty big one.
And he's going to make sure he lets them all know about it too.
Yep. As that's a double from him as well. And he's going to be on that going into the 10th frame. Chris Steppett, big shot here as well. Smacks the 10 out.
Chris
that is
follows
the
it.
3rd double from Memorial.
Watch this
in the
shot
8th
by
and 9th.
Chris. Goes over about the 7th board, hooking up to the pocket. The 6 goes to the sidewall and snaps the 10 right out convincingly. Wonderful shot. Anthony Morrell drifting high once again. Obviously the lanes are breaking down and now his ball continues to go high. Andrew Klein, unfortunately in the 9th frame here, goes through the nose.
He was telling it to lay off.
Yeah, he wanted a little help there, and unfortunately he didn't get the help he was looking for.
No,
Pin rolls across, leaving a 3-9-10. Very tricky spare.
Like we just talked about, Henry shooting at a hard spare. Andrew's going to be shooting at a very difficult one as well.
Yes. This gives it a chance. Getting only 2. Not exactly what he was hoping for right at that point. Because if he would have struck there, Daniel Robertson strikes.
Big rebound frame there for Henry Hex from Howell.
That it was.
Danny Robertson gets up, gets the light mixer to fall. 4 out of 5 bowlers for Jackson Memorial are going to be on a double going into the 10th frame. One of those 4 being on a triple.
And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter how far the game is out. When you have that many bowlers working on doubles, there's a lot of pins up for stake here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the hottest hands on the pair today, Jake Diaz. 498 for his first 2 games, working on a 4-bagger right now.
That's not what he wanted there on the
10
ninth.
pin. No, that's not what he was hoping for.
See, leaves the flat 10. Going to be looking at possible 256 out in the 10th. Looking at 750 for his 3 games here today.
He's had a solid day on the lanes. But it's not so much the solid day that makes the difference, it's the winning shots
that make the difference, exactly.
So we're going to have to see how things unfold here when we get up in the 10th frame.
Good spare there from Jake. Now, as we add up the math real quick.
It's a 20-pin game. It's exactly a 20-pin game, and you have 4 out of 5 bowlers working on doubles for Howell. I'm sorry, for Jackson Memorial. Watch this shot by Jimmy as he gets up here in the left lane, working on a strike. Throws that ball way out to the right. Wow, it comes back. And
you know, one thing that helps Jimmy is how forward his ball roll is. His ball roll being that forward gets it to control it a little bit more off that friction, where someone a little bit more around the ball is going to be more violent off of the end of the pattern. So Jimmy actually has a little bit more control over that friction way to the right. So that's been a big key for him, allowing him to strike so much here today. Gets that one way out there as well, and gets them all to fall. Big double there in the 10th frame for Howell.
that is huge, that double.
Yeah.
Your team's up by 20, and you're one of the few bowlers working on strikes. You want to try to keep the mojo going your way.
Yeah, as Danny Elias from Memorial doubles in the 10th as well. Both leadoff bowlers doubling in the 10th. One of them on strikes, one of them on a double. Big 10th frame there from both leadoff bowlers, keeping this game close. As they're going to be looking at the last 4 bowlers, we could be looking at a very similar situation coming into the last 2 bowlers here.
No question about it.
That we just saw over on the girls' side.
Oh, solid 8. What a great shot Jimmy just threw there.
And talk about count now.
19 pins.
That's right. So we've got Nick Hornhouse on a double. We've got Matt Harney on a triple. Let's see if either one of these bowlers can perform for their team and really either step on it and keep going away from it, or step on it and make it a whole lot closer.
Nick Hornhouse working on a double. First shot in the 10th. What a fantastic ball.
Yeah, big shot there from Nick.
When you're working on a double and you can throw a shot like this, wow, does that
huge.
help your team and show confidence?
As Matt Harney goes light there, not the shot he wanted, leaving the 2, 4, 5, 7 first ball in the 10th. And Nick Hornhouse can really help out Howell at the end of the day here with a second strike in the 10th.
Right. Final score for Jimmy Byer, 210. Danny Elias, final score, 226.
Nick Hornhouse, second shot in the 10th. Great shot there from Nick. So we're going to take
It's almost a
second look at
replay
that.
of the last one he just threw.
Yeah.
The ball enters the pocket. All 10 pins straight back. Fantastic shot, for sure.
Big spare there from Matt Harney. Getting all 4 of those pins to fall. As Nick Hornhouse helped out Howell's cause there with a strike there.
I'll tell you what.
The double there.
Howell's top 2 bowlers, their first and second bowler between Jimmy and Nick. Wow, what a finish this game for them in the 10th frame. Stepping up when they need it most.
Yep.
Another fantastic shot, leaving a solid 8 on the fill ball. Final score for Nick Hornhouse, 214. Matt Harney, as we watch his fill ball here. Super shot. Fill ball strike for 197. So it's a 52 pin game right now.
Let's see what Anthony Morrell here can do. Working on a spare, gets the first one in the 10th.
Oh, he's back on it there.
Yep. Let's see what Chris Steppa can do here, working on a double of his own.
Chris has to strike if Jackson has any chance here at all.
That goes light, leaving the 2-4-5.
2-4-5.
Not the shot he wanted there.
I'll tell you what, that lane has been against most everybody all day, leaving a 2-pin combination in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Anthony Morale getting back up here on the left-hand lane.
Looking for a double. That's a big shot there. Not
That
only
sure
from
is.
Anthony, but for Howell as a team.
Watch this, ball almost leaves a solid 9. So 9 was the last one to go down.
As Howell is going to be up 55 going to the last 2 bowlers. We thought it was going to be a lot closer than this, but the first 3 bowlers from Howell have performed when they needed it most.
Oh, exquisitely.
Yeah, all 3 of them throwing doubles in the 10th frame.
If not a triple.
Yep. And only one of the bowlers, one of the 3 bowlers for Jackson Memorial throwing a double in the 10th. Neither one of them throwing the first one.
As Anthony, watch this ball here by Chris Steppett on the right lane.
Yep, good shot there.
Fill ball there.
Unfortunately, not quite where he wanted it. He wanted that first one.
Yeah, final score for Chris Steppett, 190.
And now it is all but over for Jackson Memorial. As Andrew Klein looking at the 4-9 there. Henry Hecht, first ball in the 10th, gets it out there. Smacks the 10 out, and you heard it. He liked it, he wanted it, and he got it.
And he made sure everybody else knew about it.
And I'll tell you what, Howell needed to perform today to give themselves any chance at the division title, and they needed to come in and sweep all 3 games, and that's exactly what they did.
They really stepped up to the plate. My goodness. I mean, they brought their A game to the table, and they made it work. And although Jackson Memorial did not bowl bad, they bowled pretty solid all day, but they certainly were no match for what Howell put up on the table.
As Henry said,
watch that one there.
Nasty messenger there.
We haven't seen that all day, but boy, he sent that one right across the deck.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, Howell being down 2 with just 3 matches left, it is anyone's title. Howell definitely made a statement here today. They're looking at bowling 3,300, which is 1,100 a game, which is averaging over 220 for the team today.
That's per man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's solid bowling, for sure.
So you look at Henry's last shot, bowling 241 this game. Huge game for Henry.
Look at that. Solid high flush shot. Look at their 10th frame that they posted right there.
They have 1 miss so far in, 2 misses in 12 shots.
Yeah,
Both
fill
of them
balls.
on fill balls. As Jake Diaz, first one in the 10th, they're going to bowl a lot.
Diaz continues to finish it off. Watch this ball go down the lane. Once again, that 6-pin just snaps the 10 like it's silly.
As we look at Danny Robertson's last shot, 224 for him. Still a good day for Danny Robertson. I believe bowling close to 700.
Yeah, he had close to 700. Their team bowled 1039 that game, and they're going to lose by almost 100.
Yeah.
Once again, Howell bowling over 1,100.
They've bowled, I think, 1,100 every game. Or excuse me, they bowled 1050 something last game.
Yeah, they slacked off. They gave him a chance last game.
Yeah, still, they're going to bowl 33-32 with a strike on the fill ball from Jake Diaz. Unreal performance from Howell today as they walked all over Jackson Memorial here today.
Probably the one big thing is if you look at the left-hand side there for Howell, look at their 10th frame. How much they zone in on that. Unbelievable.
Jake Diaz's final shot. And 13 out of 15 strikes for Howell in the 10th
frame there.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal finish from Howell. As
you don't see big league teams doing that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And these guys are high school competitors.
They walked over Jackson Memorial today, beating them by 300 pins on the dot. They, on average, beat them by 100 pins a game.
20 pins per man.
Yeah.
When you look at that, I know that Jackson Memorial's in the lead in this division, but how not only did they make a statement, but they have told Jackson Memorial, we are breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
So.
Anthony Morel, highlight on the pair, bowling 740. Jake Diaz bowling 754. I'll tell you what, and Henry Hecht bowling 660 of his own. Unreal performance by the Howell boys today.
Yeah.
So we will go back over to the girls now as the boys are done bowling today. Girls in the middle of the 4th frame of game number 3.
And this match, once again, we're in the middle of the 4th frame right now, but once again, this match is fairly close. A couple of girls have a couple of strikes, but we've got a lot of filled frames. Kaylee misses the head pin on the first shot there on the left lane here. She's going to get up here and try to shoot the spare. Hook back a little bit more.
Oh, gets
wonderful
9.
spare.
That ball almost wanted to hook right past that 9 pin, but very fortunate to not do so and make the spare.
She knew what she was doing.
Yes.
And Antonia makes a spare of her own right there. So Alyssa working on a strike here right now, trying to see if she can't get a double on the board.
Looks pretty close, good shot. And wow, that went high for 6.
Yeah, that lane's definitely breaking down. It's kind of like we talked about earlier with Gianna, how her ball went high, high, and high.
Yep.
So now Alyssa's, that ball more than likely the very first game would have stayed there because the lanes are continuing to transition and break down. Now she has to move in a little bit more so that her ball doesn't continue to go through the nose.
Right.
Amanda was on a spare on the right lane and unfortunately threw it in the gutter.
Lost all our bonus pins from the spare in the frame prior, unfortunately.
Right. Let's see how Alyssa goes about shooting this spare. She's got to get it to the right side of that 3 pin. On the right-hand side. She throws it out to the right. Let's see what happens here. Oh, she got close. She did get close. She gave it a chance.
We're looking at the scoreboard here.
Tug it the other way, and she's going to get 5.
Looking at the scoreboard here, relatively close game. Scoreboard says 24 pins. Advantage to Jackson Memorial. Jackson Memorial won the first 2 games, winning the last game by just 1 pin. Jackson Memorial has wrapped up the division title here at Howell Lanes by winning the first 2 games, as Howell was in 2nd place. They were down 4 coming into today, and Memorial winning the first 2 games has put them just too far ahead for any other team to compete with them and have any chance of taking away that title from Jackson Memorial girls.
Madison Mosley throws a great shot there for a triple. We're gonna watch that one more time as that ball comes back from about the 5th board and convincingly knocks them all over. Gianna must have made a move because she hit the pocket 3 really good shots for strikes and then hit it again, unfortunately leaving a 10 pin and then missing it by just a little bit there to the left. So Emily Fogarty working on a spare right now.
Bowling 249 and 243 the first 2 games. Off to a little slower start, but with shots like that, she's on her way to another 700 this season.
For her, it has to be a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
And when I say that, the fact that she stepped up and threw the strike and then got the 9 on the fill when she needed it, mentally, there's definitely, you got to come back down right now. And when you're starting the game over after doing what she just did in the 10th frame, for her, she's got to build that momentum back up again.
Yeah, bowling is such a mental sport. You know, you have to be there mentally to be able to perform at the highest level possible. And it's all about process. You know, you have to be process oriented over worrying about trying to throw another strike. 'Cause if you're worried about trying to throw another strike, more times than not, you aren't going to throw a strike.
No, you got to make a good pass at it. You make a good pass and then let the ball talk for you as it goes down the lane.
The biggest thing is making sure you execute as good as you can to give yourself a chance.
What a wonderful spare there.
Yeah, Gianna with the 5-10 split conversion.
Gianna had to get her ball to the left side of that 5-pin, and she did it perfectly and slid it right over into the 10.
So that's exactly what she did there.
Split conversions all over the place right now as Reagan Smith makes a split of her own. As we watch Reagan, she's got to get the ball to the right side of that front pin. She does it perfectly, and the ball deflects off of the 3-pin right into the 10. Kaylee working on a spare right now up on the right-hand lane, and that's a little left of target.
And in the left gutter.
Yes, just a little too far. She'll get back on top of that and try to figure it out. This looks like she's going to go left as well right now, Antonia. So both of these ladies have to get their ball a little further to the right. Much better shot she made that time. At least she got the one in the front. Oh, and her ball drifts a little bit to the right.
Wait, hold on. You got a big step.
And meanwhile, Alyssa's up here on the right lane right now, working on an open frame, throwing it out there. It actually looks like it's got a chance. Drifting a little bit high, leaving only the 4-7. Amanda up here on the left lane, going Brooklyn. Going a little high on the Brooklyn side, leaving the 6-10 on
Still
the right
a good
side
pitch.
of the lane.
Anytime you're hitting the head pin, it's more times than not, it's always a good thing.
Yes.
And when you got pins next to each other and they're all together, that's pretty good as well.
If you come in here with a low average and you just try to get your ball in and around that one in the front, good things have an opportunity of happening. We know the better bowlers are not only trying to get it narrowed down, not just the one in the front, but they're trying to get it narrowed down to the right or left side of the head pin. But if you take a go at it and you look at what those ladies did right there, that's beneficial to the team.
Yeah. This one's going to be close.
Slide over there.
Oh! It's very fortunate to get them both.
Now
The
it's
6
really beneficial to the team.
Yeah, the 6 almost went right in front of the 10, but fortunately,
Beth Horvath, leaving a solid 10.
Yeah, pushed just enough to make the spare in the 5th for Amanda.
Beth
Gianna
throwing
stepping
a
up.
really good shot that time.
As Gianna here off of the open frame gets right back on track with a good pitch there, as she's got 4 out of the 5 first
Watch
strikes.
this shot right here. They don't get too much better than that.
No, they don't. It's Beth Horvath looking to stay clean through 5 frames here, shooting at the 10 pin.
That's pretty good shot.
And she's going to do so, make the 10 pin in the 5th frame. As Emily Fogarty, stellar start so far through 2 games, looking for a double here in the 4th and 5th, and she doesn't get the 10 out.
No, it looks like that left lane has changed a little bit on her. She had a split in the first frame.
Yeah, the lane could either be getting tighter down the lane, which means oil's gotten down the lane, which means our ball is not being able to finish and go through the pins with enough power, or the ball is seeing it too early in the friction and it's running out of energy going into the pocket.
Correct.
Causing her to leave that flat 10.
Correct. I'm going to say that the angles change a little bit where the ball starts up and it's kind of dying off on the back.
Yeah.
But good spare shot, fills the frame, moves right along. As we've got 4 marks on the board there for Jackson Memorial. With a spare here, we will have 4 marks on the board for Howell.
Madison Mosley with the spare there.
Yep.
And really close game. Three pins. Memorial in the lead by 3 pins halfway through this game.
Well, that's going to keep them all on the edge of their seat again.
Yep, as Reagan starts up the back half of the game in the 6th frame, going high, leaving a 4-7. Gianna stepping up on lane 30.
Working on a
Good
spare.
pitch there, also leaving the 4-7.
It's a popular lead right now.
Yeah, that it is.
See how these two ladies go about this spare. They should be on the right side of the approach, going across lane. Just not that far.
Reagan unfortunately missing another makeable spare. She struggled with them earlier today, and those struggles have continued.
Yeah, it's really a shame when we look at that.
So Gianna D'Ambrosia makes the 4-7, no problem at all. Staying clean through 6 frames.
Kaylee got that one a little bit too far out. Getting in the gutter there as we watch Antonio get 5. Much better shot that time. Ball going Brooklyn, but at least hitting the one in the front, getting an 8 count. And let's see how Kaylee, oh, that's got a chance. Hit it. Oh, really good effort there by Antonia. Alyssa getting up here on the left lane right now, working on a spare. See, working on a spare, getting it a little bit too far outside, going right into the gutter. And Amanda right now on the right lane, throwing it out there quite a bit. Ball going Brooklyn, and
gets them all to fall.
Gets them all to fall.
10 being the last to fall. And, good break there.
But it worked. She can now sit down or come cheer the rest of her teammates on because she got a strike.
That's right.
Okay. I'm sure some kids.
As Alyssa gets back up here on the left lane, looking for a much better pass at the ball this second shot. That is a much better pass. 9 is good. Spare would have been better, but she will take 9 and move right along. Gianna Massey. Great shot there, working on a strike. Look at this ball.
As she has
Right
5 out
into
of
the
6
pocket.
to start.
And she left a temp into one that she didn't strike,
Yeah.
so that was fantastic.
So she's hit the pocket 6 out of 6 so far, striking 5 of them. That's a pretty good start. So last game she had a 5 or a 6 timer in the middle of the game. And was able to still bowl 220.
Emily Fogarty up on the right-hand lane. She's wired on that lane.
I was about to say, she's got it on that lane. As soon as she can
Look
figure
at
out how
this
to get it
ball
back
go.
on the left lane, she'll be able to bowl another pretty big game.
She didn't have to sweat that one out at all. Beth Horvath makes another spare. She's got 6 complete marks. Clean game so far through 6 frames.
That's pretty good. As Madison Mosley is stepping up here, had a 3-bagger in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, with a spare in the 5th, looking to get back on it here in the 6th frame. That
That's
was
a pretty good shot right there.
Pretty great.
That ball, watch this ball. It actually gets to the 8-pin.
That one ran over
Right
the
there,
8-9.
ran right over the 8.
That saved all the energy
Perfect
in the world
strike.
for the right part of the lane. Reagan goes high there, leaving the 3-6-10 as the rack completely falls out. All the pins fall out of the rack on lane 29.
Yeah, lane 29, we got a small issue again.
Yep, once again, small issue there.
As Reagan picks up her ball, she's going to shoot the 3-6-10 over here. on the right lane. See if she can pick this one up.
And textbook
Wonderful
spare there.
spare. Wonderful spare.
Well, there is a slight issue on lane 29. We want to thank all of you guys so much for tuning into the match today. And we appreciate all of you guys viewing today's match, Jackson Memorial versus Howell, boys and girls bowling. We really appreciate it. And we hope you guys tune into another match from another winter sport coming soon here from JTV.
What about the girls? You said all of you guys.
Guys and girls.
Okay.
All the guys and girls watching
I appreciate
today.
you saying that. Okay. Because I'm sure that there are some ladies out there watching and taking notice.
All the parents, grandparents, cousins, friends, and family. We really appreciate them watching today from wherever in the world they are.
Correct.
So we've got an employee of the bowling center trying to clear the pins, the dead wood.
Okay, all the pins are out of the way.
All the pins are taken care of, and competition may resume on lane 29.
Exactly.
How do you work at a bowling alley and not know to walk on court?
All right. A little bit high, leaving the 4, 6, 7. And we got the 3, 6, 9, 10 spare up there. Oh, chopping the spare.
Leaving the 6-pin. That's we talked about earlier with Henry Heck shooting it earlier. The 3, 6, 9, 10, one of the hardest non-splits in bowling.
Right.
As Gianna gives it a pretty good run there, just missing the left side of that 4-pin. Watching Alyssa here from Howell, stepping up in the 7th frame.
On an open right now, going high, leaving just the 6-10.
Good break, they're both together. So we're watching Antonia step up in the 7th for Jackson Memorial, leaving the 1, 2, 4. Got Alyssa Riccio shooting the spare 6-10, standing up in the 7th frame. It's got to hook a little bit, and it does.
Wonderfully done.
Yep.
Really good spare. She has the 1, 2, 4. Antonio chopping the 1, 2, leaving just the 4-pin. Beth up here right now, going high as well. Beth Horvath has going for a clean game, trying to get another frame filler up here.
As Amanda goes Brooklyn, that's for a double.
For a double. Watch this, the ball goes left of the head pin, but fortunately they all fall over. And in bowling, it's not how, it's how many.
Exactly. As long as you figure out how to get all 10 to fall, that's the biggest thing you can do in this sport.
Absolutely. As Gianna Massey gets up here on a left lane, working on a double right now. Trying to see if she can turn it into a triple. Well, she did, but it went Brooklyn as well.
Like we just said, doesn't matter how many.
Yep, there it goes.
Madison Mosley working on a strike, gets another one on the board.
Madison
That's a double
threw a great
for her.
shot. That was fantastic the way that one went down the
She
lane.
has 5 out of the last 6 for her as well.
Meanwhile, Emily's trying to figure out how to throw a strike on this left lane right now.
And she does.
And she's got it.
Makes the right move, right adjustment, and figures out how to get all of them to fall in that left lane. First strike on the left lane in the 4 shots she's threw this game after she started with 249, 243 in the first 2 games.
Well, Jackson Memorial right now is up by 54 pins, but if you notice, those bottom 3 bowlers all have doubles.
Yeah.
You want to know why they are leading this league? That's right there. That pretty much makes the
They've
statement.
got players that can throw. They've got 1 or 2 players that can throw a couple strikes when they need to, and they've got the other 3 players are frame fillers, and that's exactly what you need in high school bowling, especially on the girls' side. As Gianna just misses the 6 pin there in the 8th.
She knows she's got the bottom bowlers to pick her up. I'm sure she didn't want to miss that, but she got some healthy team behind her there as Reagan Smith makes the 6-10. Antonia right down the middle of the lane has an opportunity. Unfortunately, leaving the 4-7-10 split. Let's see what Kaylee does right over here in the 8th frame.
Looking to give herself a good frame here. Looks like it could be close on the left side of the head pin. And
pretty good shot for 9.
Good break there, hitting the head pin, getting 9. And looking at a possible mark, first 1 in 4 frames, hopefully for her. Antonia getting up here, shooting at the 4-7-10. And is going to kindly take her 2 and move on to the next frame.
It's not a bad choice.
No, in a situation like that, when that's all you can do,
yes,
you got to take what you can and run.
Yep, get the vast majority and move right along.
Yep.
Kaylee shooting the 9 pin right here, right now.
And that is
really
going
good
to be
spare
a mark for her.
Very well done. Amanda working on a double, trying to get fortunate to get them all over again, and gets 8, leaving the 6-9.
And I'll say this, that was almost her 3rd Brooklyn in a row for a triple.
Well, when we look at Amanda's average, with an average of 144, and her ball starts to break loose from the lane, once she realizes to move a little bit and get that ball controlled into the pocket, that average will certainly go up.
Exactly. Unfortunately, misses it in the spare, in the gutter.
Yeah.
Misses the spare.
Gets it out there a little bit too wide. Alyssa shooting at the 6-10 as well. See if she can do exactly what Reagan just did here just a couple of minutes ago.
Got to push a little bit.
No,
and hooks
unfortunately.
just a little bit at the end, missing the 6-10.
Yeah.
Now, Gianna working on a triple in the 8th, looking to make it 4 in a row. And goes just a touch high, leaving the 3-10 baby split.
Yeah, that ball, it's breaking loose from the middle of the lane. It certainly wants to go high right now.
Yeah, as Beth goes just a tad high as well for herself, leaving the 6-10.
It's a common leave right now
for
for Howell, leaving the 6-10. Let's see how she goes about it. But right now for Gianna, she's going to get up and shoot this baby split. She's got to hit the right side of that pin in the front and let the ball deflect right into the 10. Well, guess she stepped back for a moment.
As Beth Horvath's going to get up and shoot her spare first.
Beth's ball should hook across the lane there right now. Don't hook too much. And that's exactly what it did. Hooked right across in front of those pins. So Gianna's going to try to go a little bit cross lane. A little too much on the right side, not hitting the 3-pin. Madison right now getting up, working on a double.
Madison having a little bit of a footing issue there, leaving the 6-10.
Yep.
Emily Fogarty stepping up on a double, looking for a triple here in the 8th frame. goes just a touch high, leaving the 410. Not a very good break there.
No, she could have left a 4-pin only on that one, and unfortunately she left both the 4 and the 10.
Yeah. She could have tripped out one or the other, and unfortunately left both, and she's going to be looking at an open frame here. Madison Mosley with the spare. Conversion on the 610.
Do you realize that 4 out of 5 bowlers left the 610 on that lane, that frame?
Ooh. Very close for Emily.
That was a really good effort by Emily.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty crazy when you talk about all the combinations that could possibly be left. And 4 out of 5 leave a 610, especially when you got many different styles on that team.
9th frame for Jackson Memorial.
Gianna gets it right into the friction. Goes Brooklyn and gets the 610 to fall.
Yep.
So that was almost 5
Watch
out
this
of the
ball
last 6.
as it goes over the other side of the head pin, and the 3-pin goes right between the 610 for a strike. And Reagan Smith puts her first strike of the game up on the board.
Antonia goes
18.
light, missing the 1 and the 2, leaving those 2. Good thing they're all together. Should be a pretty makeable spare for her.
Let's hope so. It's an 18-pin game right now. Kaylee hooking a little too far there.
Antonia shooting at the 1-2.
And the survey says it's a spare.
She's got it.
Wonderful spare by Antonia. Kaylee now shooting at the 1-3-6-9. See if she can get her ball far enough to the right side of the head pin, hopefully to make this spare. That's close. Oh. Taking the head pin straight back. Meanwhile, Amanda up here in the 9th frame. Throwing it out there, that ball's gonna hook over. Okay, fortunately leaving only the 1-3. Alyssa right now working on an open frame. Trying to see if she can propel herself back up into where she needs to be, and that looks close.
And it sure is.
That's better than close.
That's very close.
That's fantastic.
That's very good. Very good shot.
Watch this ball as it goes down the lane, right into the pocket. Perfectly done.
Splitting the 8-9, as we like to call it.
She would really love to throw a couple more shots like that.
I'm sure she would.
It would really up her morale, for sure.
Finish off this game. It's Beth Horvath. Pretty good pitch there. Great shot
Good
there.
shot into the pocket, leaving the 7-pin only.
Yep.
She'll have to move to the right side of the lane and go cross alley. As we watch Gianna Massey get up. She has 6 strikes out of 8 shots this game.
Looks like a pretty good shot there.
That's 7 strikes out of 9.
Yep. That was a really great shot there from her. As Beth makes her 7-pin. We're going to get a quick replay of Gianna.
Gianna
that was pretty good.
Wonderful shot right there.
Yeah, I don't get much better than that one.
No, it doesn't.
There's Emily Fogarty stepping up off of the bad break on the right lane. Let's see if she can get a good shot here in the 9th on lane 29.
Looks pretty good. Oh,
it's a really good pitch.
That was a solid ringing 10.
Yeah, unfortunate break there, leaving the ring 10.
No, we haven't seen too many of them today, but that was a solid ringing 10. What a great shot.
As Madison Mosley steps up on the right lane. Good pitch there from her.
Madison gets. Watch this one here as the ball rolls down the lane and rolls right up to the 1-3. 10 in the pit.
As Emily Fogarty makes the 10-pin, no problem at all. As, we are going into the final frame here in today's match. Jackson Memorial versus Howell girls. Jackson Memorial winning the first 2 games, winning game number 2 by just 1 pin, and already locking up the division title here at Howell Lanes, Jackson Memorial girls. As we're going to get a quick look at Reagan Smith.
Reagan working on a strike just like last game.
Yep, looking to get the first one in the 10th and make it a double here for a shot in the 10th frame. Gets it right into the friction, and ball runs out of energy, leaving the 7-pin.
That was a pretty good effort, though, by her.
Yeah. Gianna steps up, going Brooklyn, leaving the 5-pin.
She got it out there. Her ball coming into the pocket for Reagan. A little bit on the, let's say, loss of energy side as the 5-pin starts to go over there, but just doesn't have enough. And Gianna going Brooklyn, leaving a 5-pin. So hopefully she can make this spare right now for Reagan.
And that she does. No problem on that one at all.
Nope.
As Gianna gets up.
Gianna makes her spare as well.
Yep.
So both ladies getting a mark in the 10th frame there. Matter of fact, both ladies working on a strike. So.
And update on the total scoreboard. Jackson Memorial girls are up 35 pins currently. As Reagan makes a good shot, going just a tad high for a 4-pin. As Gianna steps up and goes just a tad high, leaving the 4-7.
And so Reagan Smith bowls 156, and Gianna bowls 166.
If you look at the scoreboard right there, at a quick glance at it, Kaylee stepping up for Howell here in the 10th frame with 101 in the 9th. Looking to finish off her day and finish off this game with a good finish. Looks like it's going to hit the head pin. Left
Mix
side of
them
it.
around. That's all right.
That's all right. Like we say, doesn't matter how, just how many.
Nope.
As she gets the 5 to
Hits
fall
the left
late
side of
when
head
she goes
pin. The
Brooklyn.
5 is the last one to fall, but it says a strike on the board, and that's all that she really is concerned with.
As Antonia gets 8 on the spare, but it's going to be an open frame as she leaves the 4-6.
Yeah, that split's a little tricky.
Yeah, especially when you don't
Rather
have ball
difficult.
speed. Shooting in a spare like the 4-6, you're going to need a lot of ball speed to bounce it out of the pit. It's very rare to slide it over.
But it can happen, though.
It can happen, but when you're throwing it 7 miles an hour, unfortunately your ball just doesn't have enough power to bounce one of those pins out of the pit.
No, I'm not liking her bouncing it, but she could hit one side or the other there. Or maybe she could be practicing football.
Yep, that's what we call a field goal. And unfortunately, that doesn't give you any extra points in bowling.
No, that part of it's not what she was looking for. But Antonia bowling 105 in game 3. And Amanda up here working on a spare on this right lane. Ball
It's a
going
good shot.
high, leaving just the 10-pin. Kaylee going to go for her 2 pins for a solid 120.
It's a good game.
Not a bad game at all.
Nope. This man gets up here shooting the 10-pin. Looks like it hung up on her hand just a little bit.
Yeah, didn't come off as clean as she'd like it to. Still a pretty good game for Amanda, 141 there.
Yep.
Now Alyssa working on a strike over here on the left-hand lane.
Looking to give Howell a chance to take this last game here today. They have yet to win one so far. Looks like it might go Brooklyn.
Got a chance.
And it does, but leaves the 9-pin.
That was pretty close. Some rowdy fans in here. But they're enjoying it.
So you've
So
got
now,
a pretty good crowd here. There's a lot of people here, which is good to see.
there's still a lot of people here watching this match.
Yeah, which is definitely good to see. Last year we didn't have any fans in the bowling center due to COVID quarantines, but seeing people back in the center being able to watch the high school matches is pretty cool to see.
Hold on, just
Just misses the spare. 116 for
That was
Alyssa.
a really good try there. A valiant effort.
And Jackson Memorial girls up 21 going in the last 2 bowlers. Could see a very similar finish like we had a couple games ago, or last game.
It is certainly possible.
But we're going to need some help here, one way or the other. And that's not what
the
Howell
help
needed.
No, that's not the help they were looking for.
As Howell is going to leave the not-so-easy 5-10 for Beth Horvath. She She's going to have to slide it over, hit the left side of the 5 and slide the 5 right into the 10. As Gianna Massey stepping up here in the 10th frame, working on a strike with a chance to bowl 233 in her final game. Bowled 224 last game. Let's see what she can do here. Looks pretty close.
Close. Oh.
Unfortunate break there, leaving the 10 pin. But with a spare.
Leaving a ringing 10 as well.
But with a strike on the fill ball and a spare of the 10 pin, she's going to bowl 213, and a pretty solid day for Gianna.
It's a pretty solid day for sure.
Gianna shoots the spare, and she's going to miss the 10 pin. Still, either way, good
far
day.
To the left.
201 the last game for Gianna. Bowled 224 her prior game. And, pretty good. But the Memorial girls have just about locked it up. Up 22, as you can see on the board. But Howell with a chance if Madison Mosley can perform here in the 10th frame. Let's see what she can do. First ball in the 10th.
She's going to need
Working
a
on
strike.
a strike. And that's not very good.
Leaving the bucket, the 2, 4, 5, 8. Emily drying off her hand, getting up here. Make a good pass at it here.
Working on a spare, first ball in the 10th. And, whoa, goes high, gets both to wiggle, but neither one of them are going to fall, leaving the 4-6.
And
Madison gets up to
shooting
shoot
for
the bucket.
Spare.
Good break there, making
Very
the
well
spare.
done. Yep.
But even with the what looks like the open frame from Emily, Jackson Memorial is going to win this game, and they're going to win it by less than 10.
Less than 10 again.
Yep. Unless Emily miraculously slides the 4 into the 6, and she almost did there. But either way, Jackson Memorial girls sweeping today against Howell girls, all 3 games, and winning the last 2 by less than 10, winning game 2 by 1, as Madison Mosley gets the late fall on the 4-9.
Yeah, watch this shot here one more time as 4 goes falling over right into the 9 for the final shot of the day as she strikes on the fill ball for 215. Emily Fogarty had 169. As we look at the scores here right now that are popping up.
Jackson Memorial girls winning the last game 782 to 774. And Jackson Memorial girls winning all 3 games here today. And that is going to wrap up today's coverage of the Jackson Memorial versus Howell boys and girls bowling match here today, live on JTV. That is going to wrap up today's match. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Justin Bone with my co-host, my dad, and PBA Hall of Famer Parker Bone III. And we thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time on a Jackson television event.
Take care.
Have a good night, everybody.